This episode of Limit Break Radio is made possible by our generous Patreon donors, including Draco Kirova of Cactuar, Mitski Swiftpaw of Sargatanis, Tankenspake of Gilgamesh. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/limitbreakradio. And by Alamo City Comic Con, October 28th through the 30th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center in sunny San Antonio, Texas. Alamo City Comic Con celebrates the artists that entertain us through TV, movies, comics, gaming, and cosplay. For more info, including badge prices, celebrity guests, hotel accommodations, and more, visit alamo.citycomiccon.com.
Live from Eorzea. Limit Break. With your hosts, Aniero.
Now behold the horror you have wrought.
Kahlo.
I said don't take your clothes off.
Juxtaposition.
I don't get it.
Eskalia.
Holy shit, totally forgot about him.
And Nika.
Oh my god.
LimitBreakRadio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio. Vanna deals only. Call in. God damn it. That's not the right. That's not it. Damn it.
What?
My one chance to get this right, and I botch it.
Oh my gosh! Eskalia, can you please turn down the scare?
I'm
That
sorry.
was terrifying.
I'm sorry. You guys were almost on Voices of Vanna deal. My apologies for that. Of course, I am not Aniero Grigori. He is currently down at Alamo City Comic Con, which means that you guys are all stuck with me filling in for the week. My name is, of course, Eskalia Ryumasa. Joining me today, I have my co-host, Juxtaposition. Juxta, how you doing, man?
How's it going? Oh, how's it going? It's going great.
Yeah?
How are you doing, buddy? Good old buddy.
I'm doing good. I'm nervous, trying not to throw up. Just, another day in my life.
Why are you nervous? We do this every single week.
Yeah, but this is different. Now I've got to do, all kinds of, tech stuff, and I got to, do the music. I actually have to do work.
Yeah, that sucks, doesn't
I think
it?
that's...
Today's my week off.
I think that's... Yeah, exactly. You have the easy week this week. Yeah, so here we are. I've also got Nika Kyanian joining me.
Hey, hi.
How you doing today, Nika?
Wow.
Hey, hi.
I'm doing all right. This is weird.
This is very weird. We do not have Aniero, and more importantly, we do not have Aniero's equipment. I think that's really what we're learning today, is that he's very important for the stuff that he brings.
But Kylo's not important, right?
No, of course not.
Kahlo is just a special guest, and it's not special anymore, so he's not here.
Yeah, some people are asking why we sound a little bit fuzzy. That would be because we do not have the usual ultra high-end equipment or lovely soundboard that you guys were all so kind to help us purchase through our Patreon account over at patreon.com/limitbreakradio. So thank you for that. And this episode should really go to remind you of why that's so important. Right?
Wow, that's a really good plug. You're a natural at this.
Yeah, that's what I learned from Aniero. All right, so let's kick it on over to our studio cam by clicking this lovely button. All right, we got a chair showing up. Thank you to the lovely, lovely iCam. You can join us in studio this week in The Goblet, 5th Ward, plot number 30. Hope you all
Hey,
will...
at least you know that. Nero doesn't know that.
How does he not know that? It's on the outline.
He might know it now, but
I don't think he does know. I think you're absolutely right. He doesn't know it, even though Kooky says it every 4 minutes, and it's in the outline. Anyway, if you guys are listening to this on the podcast, it's probably Tuesday. If you guys are intending to listen to this on the podcast, you can of course grab it over on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, whatever happens to be your podcast server of choice. What were you going to say, Juxta?
I was just gonna say, yeah. So just meet us out in the Lavender Beds, like 3rd Ward, I think, plot 29.
I think that's
we're right there.
Isn't that where our house was before we had our own free company?
I have no clue.
Okay.
I just picked a random thing completely.
Okay, great. Make sure you head on over to our LBR Reddit. It was created not by us. We do love, of course, like plugging the stuff that we make incessantly. You know, we love to just talk about it all the time. However, we did not make this. r/Limit Break Radio is 100% fan-made and fan-driven, so please head on over there and contribute to that. Get some conversation going on. We do like to pull from it every now and then. We do like to post on there every now and then. We'll check it out. So go on over and check that out. I understand we have our intern, Papa Woody. You're with us here too?
Yeah, how about that?
How you doing, man? How was last week?
I'm alive.
That's good to hear. You've recovered fully from the con plague?
Yes, I am 100%.
That's good to hear. Of course, con plague, a very, very serious thing and something everyone needs to take seriously, and yet no one ever seems to at conventions. I always try to bring a hand sanitizer or something because it's just everyone's hugging people and being all lovey and stuff like that, but people, like, if you made plans 6 months in advance and bought your tickets and bought your plane flight and bought your hotel room, you're not canceling if you get sick before a convention. You're going. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
No, I would hope you don't do that because I'm pretty sure that's how I got sick after FanFest.
It is how you got
please
sick.
do not take explosive diarrhea to FanFest, and please do not give it to the host of LBR because you did, and I hate you for it.
Nika,
I don't know. I mean, I was up in there with a lot of you guys hugging,
Kyle got it
handshaking.
too. It's weird. Like there was only certain people. Like I got it, Kyle got it, Danny got it, and like one of her friends got it. So I know like some people, but not everybody got it.
Okay,
Yeah,
well.
if you're laying upper deckers on your toilets, then stay home.
Jesus. Oh my God.
No, screw that. You guys just gotta have better immune systems. I kissed, hugged, licked a whole bunch of people, and I was fine.
Yeah.
People did lick me. If it was you, oh god, like because the thing is too that some people are immune to things. So if it was like Ethis or Callow who had that bug and passed it to me, I'm never talking to them.
Nika's explosive diarrhea confirmed here. Thank you so much for that.
It was horrible. I had to miss work for 2 days.
Jesus. Oh my God. All right. So Juxta, your stomach of course is made of iron. Nothing vexes you. You did not have explosive diarrhea.
No, of course not.
So really what we're trying to say is Nika was the one who had explosive diarrhea.
Yes, I've already said that.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
so
just fun to talk
so
about.
everyone's confirmed, we can all picture Nika sitting on the toilet, just
Okay, you don't need to do
diarrhea
that.
spraying
You don't have to go that
all over the
far.
place.
No,
Like
Dad,
John Daniels
block your mind.
in,
You don't need to go that far.
She
All
actually
right.
wasn't even on the toilet. She was in the bathtub just because it was going all over the place. Just try to keep it contained, but it's just not. It's going over the shower curtain. It's just a bad time.
Oh my
the
God.
toilet, both feet in the air, thrusting that one out.
Oh God. Alrighty. So we want to send a huge thank you to Alamo City Comic Con, where they are our sponsors, and that event is going on this weekend.
So buy your tickets and head on out.
Yeah, buy your tickets and you can be there for the last day of the event. If you happen to be there right now and for whatever reason you're listening to us, hi Aniero, the show's going fine, go have fun. Anyway, the crowd's already chanting for help. Never mind, maybe you do need to come back and help us. We do have one major piece of news that we need to talk about before we get into the FF14 news, and that is an event that is coming up Saturday, November 5th, and that event is, of course, Extra Life, which is a great charity event that Limit Break Radio always tries to at least be a part of. We have done bigger things in the past. I know we did a great stream last year. Nika, would you be willing to tell us a little bit about Extra Life?
Sure, and we've done this for multiple years in a row. I know back in 2009 when we had that awesome event out in Detroit, wherever that was. But Extra Life is a gaming marathon, which apparently now they don't stress that it has to be 24 hours, but plenty of people still do the 24-hour gaming marathon. And you get people to sponsor you. It's to your children's hospital of choice. The money goes towards that. And you play for 24 hours, and all the money goes to help research for children's cancer and all that awesome things that we love to help children because children are awesome.
Sure they are. We like helping them. I'm not going to...
Let's not go that far.
Yeah, I won't
Okay,
That's something
okay.
You can't take back.
No, anyway, Kuki has posted the link into the Twitch chat there, extralife.org/team/limitbreakradio. Click that sign up button. It is next weekend. I will be streaming all 24 hours here on Limit Break Radio, I believe. Are the two of you going to be streaming at all?
I believe I'm going to be doing some streaming, yes.
Highly doubtful because I'll probably end up having to work that whole weekend.
Oh no.
But you
Sucks
can
to be
be
you.
sure you can be sure that I am gaming in my heart.
I'm
okay,
gaming
that's what
and-
matters, I suppose. That's gonna help the children. Game in your heart and get those donations.
Yeah, that'll
it's
help.
it's definitely not for the children. I hate children, and it's gonna
God
be
damn
for
it.
myself.
Get out of here.
You don't exactly understand how charity works, do you, Juxta?
Does it go to me?
No, that's the point.
Then no, I don't understand it at all.
Okay, we're just making sure. Speaking of charity, I guess we have 2 charity events coming up then. I guess I'm pretty much set to announce my next charity stream is going to be taking place in December. It's going to be December the 9th, starting at 5 p.m. Once again, we will be having all proceeds going to Go Affirmations, which is a wonderful charitable cause right here in Ferndale, Michigan. They provide all kinds of resources for people who are LGBT, not just transgender, but people who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, you name it. They provide all kinds of great resources, counseling, therapy, whatever you need. You can pretty much go there, and they can at least point you in the right direction. They're a wonderful cause. They do all kinds of great work across Michigan. So this charity stream will be benefiting them, and it is titled Seeds of Acceptance 2 Earthbound. Yep.
Ooh.
I didn't want to do FF8 2 years in a row for it, so we will be
Is
playing...
the FF10 too long for you?
No, FF10 already has voice acting in it, though.
Well, that's true, but I can imagine playing that game without stopping. That's a lot of playing.
I don't know. I mean, FF9 was 36 hours.
Isn't 10 longer than that?
I don't know, maybe. But yeah,
I'm sure it is.
for this charity stream, we are going to be playing Earthbound, which is, of course, a wonderful classic on the NES, or Super NES, right? Earthbound?
No, Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Super
yes.
Nintendo. I thought so. It is a wonderful classic. It's actually one I've never played. So
It's a really great game.
I'm really excited to play this game. I'm told it's great. I'm told that the humor is pretty much right up my alley, and it's got a lot of great feels moments. There's a wonderful community behind Earthbound. So I hope all of you will be there on December the 9th as we raise some money for charity and play just a wonderful game.
Okay, now I have a question
Yes.
about the charity you're going for.
Sure.
Go Affirmations.
correct.
I have to ask, does that involve children?
It does well if they're LGBT, I guess it would, but it's just LGBT individuals.
Then I cannot support it. I'm sorry.
because
What
it might
the
help.
hell?
Because it might help children.
You know, you were a
Yeah.
child once too.
But I have outgrown that. I have evolved beyond children. So
Are you never going to have children?
I have Kahlo, which is basically
Fair enough.
That
I
is
can see why you hate children.
that is the greatest justification I've ever heard. It was a juxtafication, in fact.
Oh, good one, Nika.
Oh,
Thanks.
oh no! He's giving credit to Nika now. Oh my God.
That's a first, man. You recognize my humor.
I know. There's a first for everything, so I'm impressed.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick. All right. Anyways, let's move on to some FF14 news. If it'll play.
I was gonna say.
This is a limit breaking news update.
All right, there we go. It took second time's a charm. First of all, as some of you may have noticed, in fact, as most of you probably noticed, the North American data centers became very, very not accessible to many players this week. For
Wait, what?
a period of about 36 hours, most people were booted out of the game and unable to log in if you were on either the Aether or Primal data center, I believe it was. Both the North American data centers went down.
Oh, so that didn't affect me then, right?
I hate that it didn't
Wait,
affect
what?
you, because it should have
Well,
affected you.
What it seemed to do is it would just kick you out totally randomly, just completely just kick your character out, not even like a red dot. You're just gone.
Mm-hmm.
And you would log back in. There would be a queue, like of however many people, and as soon as the queue would go through, it would go to the loading screen and then just kick you out again.
Yeah.
Over and over, endless cycle.
Oh.
However, it did seem that a VPN would fix the routing issue because it seemed to have been a routing issue.
Oh, that's
Well, see,
interesting.
So yeah, so it wasn't like, where most of the time where we have level 3 issues where people are just like rubber banding and like boinging back and forth. It was literally just a routing issue. And if you had a VPN, you were fine. If you didn't, you were screwed.
Now, this is kind of the second time we've had a major issue where it actually wasn't on Square Enix's side. This was a problem with the ISPs instead. And it's kind of like, what are you supposed to do? I hate the idea of paying for a service, a VPN service like WT-Fast or whatever it happens. I hate the idea of having to pay for a service to play a game that I pay for on an internet service that I pay for.
Mudfish for the win.
What's that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, there's a VPN called Mudfish where, like, you only pay for like the
You
quote,
pay for a
bandwidth
specific,
you
yep,
use
and
or
it's a
something.
specific game. You like the VPN itself. You type in like which game you're using it for, and it only runs for that game specifically. So I put in like $3 when I first downloaded Mudfish, and I'm only down to like $2.70, and I've been using it
Yeah,
for
it's-
months.
Oh wow.
So, and it only just
Ridiculously
pays per the actual specific game's bandwidth. It doesn't go through your entire internet. So
Interesting. Yeah. So this happened.
I'm not sponsored by Mudfish. I just like them, so I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
That is a viable. That is a viable alternative.
We'll assume the check's in the mail, Nika. So this happened late Wednesday night, and the problem persisted through Thursday. Juxta, you use WT-Fast, so you weren't affected by it, and apparently anyone who used a VPN wasn't affected by it. I was gone for 2 days because I refused to pay for that, but I guess like 30 cents, I guess that's not so bad.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
should definitely look into Mudfish.
Yeah, maybe I'll break down and do it. All right, so also of import, this week we have the announcement of the winners from the Final Fantasy XIV art contest.
Woo!
Now, we, of course, were all at FanFest, and we got to see these pieces live, and they were very, very good. And I want to go...
Oh, yeah, we definitely saw those pictures while we were there.
I remember those.
I know. I looked at them, but I'm so mad I didn't have enough time to go and actually vote. I feel bad. I wanted to.
You didn't vote?
I didn't.
Nika, exercise your right to vote. It's important.
I know.
I'm being told
I
that
know.
constantly.
I wanted to.
I don't like any of the choices I was presented with, so I'm going to write in my ballot.
Yeah? Are you voting for Bernie Sanders?
No, I'm voting for Ethis Asher. I'm sure he's doing something.
Oh man, I'd love to see Ethis win. I'm into that. All right, so let's bring up some of our winners here. Boom! Look at that. So this was the winner of the Life in Eorzea piece. It's titled "End of Summer," and the character name is. Anyone want to take a guess at that? Shui Shui?
I can't see it. It's not.
It's actually pronounced Chouette. It's French.
Oh,
Ranch.
is that how they pronounce it in France land?
Yes.
Okay, just making
Yes,
sure.
it is.
I guess I can
All
bring up
that
the link.
Paris talk.
We were just there.
Yep, it was
I visited Paris.
So I think it's a really good picture. I mean, Juxta, you should love this picture. It's Minions.
It's clearly Chouette.
Chouette, Chouette.
I don't know.
That's what I just said.
Chouette.
Yeah.
Chouette.
I'm going with that. We've got the fat cat minion with the coral kitten riding it, and the black
is
kitten just kind of hanging out over there. I think it's a really good picture. The title "Life in" or
Why is it summer though?
it's the end of summer.
It's the end of summer. See how it's like turning into fall and the sunset and the flowers.
I don't see that at all. I just see 3 cats. It should be like beginning of cat.
I like beginning of cat more actually. If they retitle it, that's the winner for me. But that was the
Yeah,
winner
okay.
of the Life in Eorzea one. If we move down to the theme of the epic showdown.
Ooh, I like this
This
one.
is such a good piece. It's titled Answers by Robin Vogel, also of the Cactuar server. Apparently there's a lot of creativity going on the Cactuar server. So you can see we got everyone facing down against Bahamut. Nika, this probably rings true for you especially, I would think.
It does. This is a nice one, although it's bringing back a lot of memories. Some I don't care to remember.
Except there's a scholar in there. There was no scholar 1.0.
Oh,
Well, it could have been
I
in
don't see this.
2.0.
honestly, I was thinking this is Binding Coil, where they're
Yeah.
they're finally getting their answers. This is the showdown for their answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the turn 13.
Oh,
Oh, the scholar's right in the center. Yeah, I didn't see the book. I was like, what is she holding?
Why is
The
it?
book is blocking Bahamut's junk.
Yeah.
it's censored.
Someone in the chat's wondering if Aniero will see this episode as canon. Somehow I don't think so. This will be
Well,
the,
Let's
this is
just
totally
skirl.
canon LVR.
it's going to be the
What are you talking
lost
about?
episode. All right, as we move on down to the physically crafted items, this was one of my favorite pieces of the whole thing. It's titled Lady of the Vortex, and it is such a cool representation of Garuda.
What is it
It
crafted out
looks
of? I wish
really
there was some more description.
It's
of it.
all metal. It's like those wings.
It's metal?
Yeah, it's all metal.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about the rock?
Well, probably
that rock
the
metal?
rock's probably not metal, to be fair.
What's the rock made out of?
I'm gonna go ahead and guess rock.
Oh yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, probably. So this is the Lady of the Vortex from character Nozomi K of the Sargatanas server.
Oh, we should all send that
Our
person
very
a tell right
own,
now.
yeah. Tell to Nozomi
Represent.
K.
Yeah, if
and
Nozomi,
say
are you?
congratulations on your physically crafted item grand prize win.
I wonder if
Everyone on Sargatanas, do that immediately right now.
Are they online?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
All right. We have okay. There were so many runners up. I feel like SE.
You could just.
Yeah, we're just gonna kind of
scroll
move
down
through these
beautifully.
quickly.
They are online. Do it immediately.
Yeah, they're online. Go check them out. Like, we'll stop if we see a decent one. I like this one of the person with Hildebrand. Or
is there one with boobs?
is there one with boobs?
They are AFK, so they're gonna come back to a bunch of messages.
Yes!
In Ghost.
I like this one in the carbuncle chair. I think this is my favorite of the runners up. It's kind of goofy, and I just love it.
The one with Alphino?
Yeah. It might be
Yeah,
Ali Say pre-rework. We don't know.
Excuse me. There is
It's
clearly a
probably Alphino.
ribbon, and it is blue. That means he's a boy.
Clearly. Well, we all know
Oh
how.
yeah, he does have the blue ribbon. That is Alphino.
Well, we all know how Japan feels about strict gender roles. We'll talk about that on Final Encounter Cast today. Goody.
Okay.
Ooh, how exciting.
Yeah.
Bunny
All right.
outfit.
Bunny
Look
outfit.
at that first one, the Epic Showdown one. That looks nice.
The Epic Showdown one.
The run. I was up. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, the Epic Showdown. Oh, with the free company.
A lot
Epic.
of these are
very
really
cool.
Good. Wow, this must have been a really tough choice.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
having to choose this would have been just brutal. It's kind of like when they had Yoshi doing the cosplay contest and they were having to pick from there. That must have been brutal.
Well, I have some beef with the cosplay contest from this year.
Oh,
even
yeah?
though I wasn't in it.
Oh,
Well, I mean, what it seemed like is last year or 2 years ago, if you guys remember, they actually hired popular cosplayers to do the judging. This year, it was just staff members, and it was very obvious that the staff members were not cosplayers, because there were ones that were better crafted that didn't make it on the stage because they clearly wanted a variety of costumes for a better stage show.
Okay.
So there was like multiple Shivas, but only one of them made it on the stage, even though the other Shivas might have been better than like one of the other ones that was on the stage. Like they didn't pick them because they wanted a better variety of costumes.
Yeah, they didn't want.
And also the winners, like I had a few friends up there, and I'm not going to go into detail, but there was clearly some things that I think were like better crafted than other things, and like clearly the staff just looked at like what looks cool and not necessarily. The Dragoon definitely should have won. I think that was fantastic, but just looking at like the costumes that were up there and then the costumes of the people who entered, I just feel like they didn't necessarily know about the craftsmanship specifically. And when I heard people talk about like how they were supposed to bring references and talk about their process, they were kind of just like hurried along and they didn't really listen to them. very much.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like while they were up there, like actually having questions asked of them, it always seemed to be kind of like more like what inspired you, what made you want to do this, not so much what went into making the costume.
Right. And like when there was prejudging, which was like if you ever saw that line of cosplayers that was in the back by the minigames, that was the prejudging where they were supposed to bring like their entire some of my friends brought like entire binders full of progress pictures and descriptions and all of this, and they were kind of just like, okay, yeah, that's nice, and like brushed it aside when they were told to go into as much detail as possible with their process, and then they weren't even looked at. Whereas if the judges were cosplayers, they would have cared a little bit more. So I just feel like that it was an interesting choice to switch from hiring cosplayers to using staff members. I don't know.
okay. Well, there's a lot of cosplayers that signed up for this, and Square Enix has a finite amount of time. And as a person who doesn't cosplay, the only thing that matters to me is how good it looks. So, I mean, if you spend like 800 hours creating something that doesn't look good as something who spends a guy 1 hour, then, I mean, who's really ahead in that situation?
It's still gonna look good if you spend 800 hours on it. Just saying.
Well, I see Square Enix's point of not wanting to have like 10 Shivas and 10 Dragoons on the stage. I get that. But if they're just literally picking out, okay, this is the best looking Shiva, this is the best looking of each of them, maybe like you could have at least 2 or 3. Like if someone's really good, if you have 2 Shivas and they're both really good, they should both be up there. Nika, are you mad that you weren't picked to go up there?
I didn't sign up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I
uh-huh.
just have some friends that have talked about the process, and I just feel like as a cosplayer and as someone who knows craftsmanship, it's just kind of a weird choice that they would go from the first year hiring cosplayers that know the craftsmanship to just going to staff. I mean, maybe it wasn't in their budget this year, but I feel like they would have had a smaller budget their first year and yet still managed to hire people. So it's just a little interesting.
That is kind of strange. I don't know what caused them to make the change, I think is what's strange to me.
Well, I think when I watched the live stream last time it was on, that it was Lisa Luhu, wasn't it?
It was Lisa Luhu, and
Yeah.
it was there was
Garuda. She was Garuda.
She was the
right?
Garuda, and then
Yeah.
actually my friend who's KO cosplay, and she's now a Kitsune Kid. She it was funny because they hired her from my side of town, and she was dressed up as a monk. And then there was one other. Gosh, I can't even remember now. I feel so bad. There was one other. I want to say, Destiny Nicholson.
Okay.
Yeah, she was there too. I can't remember what she was dressed up as.
Yeah, I don't know what would cause them to make the switch over, but I guess that's the way they felt about it. It'll be interesting to see what they do next time, like with having had feedback on both, what they'll choose. I don't know. Anyway, getting through
another
the
3.0 misstep.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, that's right. The budget was all shifted to FF15. They couldn't afford to hire anybody.
Okay.
All right, it's all coming together now. We're getting there. Now that they can
Canon.
now they
You
can
know what I
shift
think would have been cool is if since they had the first fan fest, they hired outside cosplayers, and then they had a winner. They should have had the winners of last year's contest judge this year's contest, and then the winners of this year can judge next time.
Well, what if they didn't all come to this year?
Well, Square Enix would pay for them to come. And
Oh
judge.
my gosh. Okay.
No,
If we
'cause-
don't even have the budget to hire real cosplay
That's what they
judges,
did last
then
year though.
no.
They hired 3 cosplay judges and paid their way out there, and paid them money on top of that.
Well,
Okay, well, clearly that was wasted money because cosplay contests not bring in the dough. So thank you, Square
okay.
Enix, for having wonderfully good hindsight this time.
clearly we just needed to have our own cosplay contest at the after party, and we'll do that next time. We're gonna have a
Oh
sweet.
my god, we should.
Yes,
That'd
we're
be
gonna have a
sweet.
sweet
Yeah.
cosplay contest. It's gonna be better than everyone else. It's gonna be blackjack and hookers. It's gonna be awesome. All right, let's go finish up getting through these pieces of art here. We're almost at the end of them. But just as we scroll down and see a couple more of them, I love the Ravana one, Soul of War.
The Sephiroth one looks sweet.
And yeah, the Sephiroth When the Bow Breaks.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the title When the Bow Breaks. It's like that's just the name of the quest. Not very creative, but whatever. Nevertheless, the picture is amazing. This one, I wanted these. I was like, can I just buy these? The
I know, I wanna
Mandragora
buy some of these
plushies.
too.
Did anyone else freak out over the Mandragora plushies? Because we have them in our studio. I think they're drowning currently, but
Yeah, they're in the fish tank.
why are they in the fish tank?
Why are they not in the fish tank? Because we have a fish tank.
Well, fair enough.
Touche.
Yeah.
I guess I
Of course
can't.
it's fair.
I can't argue
Look
with
at
that.
the Moggle.
Oh, I didn't actually see the Moggle Mog. That's super cool.
All the little Moogles underneath.
And the title's First Flight. That's great. That's from Alita Ito of the Excalibur server. That one's very, very cool. And I love that someone put in a sprite art titled
Yeah.
Origins. So that's what
Looks
that
like a
was.
blanket.
That was the
Yeah.
work from the Final Fantasy XIV art contest. Thank you all so much to everyone who submitted a piece. Such good work all across basically every server. Of course, we don't see the bad stuff, but is there is there really bad stuff?
L14 fan art is good because feels.
Cause feels it's like all Limit Break Radio fan art. It's all good.
Yes, because it's about us. Any fan art of us is good fan art. So please submit, and you will not win any prize, but you will win our love.
Okay,
Exactly.
you heard it here, everyone. If you, everyone who wants to make their erotic fan art of Nika doing untold things
That's
to
not what I
Skuro,
said. What?
that is 100% true.
Okay,
it's
I
100%
can mute
good.
Juxta, right? I am a mod in this Discord server.
I think he's a mod too. Can you mute
a
other
mod.
Can I
mods?
server mute a mod? I don't know. Let's try it.
Yes, you
Done.
can. Yes, you can. All right, so we've got both these.
What the hell?
Yeah,
me
I
out
have
of
my
channel.
powers too. I can shut this whole thing down. I made this Discord.
We've got incoming Nika and Skuro fan art, and we've
Oh
got
my God,
incoming
stop,
Nika
stop,
toilet explosive
stop.
diarrhea fan art.
And that's good because
No.
Nika said so.
Yeah.
No.
Singing Scion, of course, is pointing out that she did do some some LBR rather fan art, drawing both me and Callow, and doing some just amazing pictures. If I had them on this PC, I'd bring them up right now. But check them out on our on Twitter at Limit Break Radio. She did just some amazing work and is not helping to further the Callow Eskalia fan pairing that has been pervasive over the last week.
That's just gross.
Wait, why is that a thing?
You took the words right out of my mouth. Why is that a thing?
Because they always want like the popular guy to hook up with the unpopular guy who no one likes. So I guess they ship Kahlo with Eskalia because
You shouldn't say that about
People
Kahlo.
really
That's
like
mean.
Eskalia?
It's called Escalio. Oh, God. It's the worst cereal I've ever heard of. All right. So this Tuesday actually is a big day for two reasons. First of all, patch 3.45 is dropping. And
oh, really?
yeah, right.
Apparently, I know. CERN's like, oh, it's November 1st, right? I'm like, wait, really?
Yeah, exactly.
What are we getting?
What do you mean we're getting? We're getting Palace of the Dead.
Oh, are we?
We're getting Relic too, right?
Yes, we're getting Relic and Palace of the Dead, of course.
I finally got mine. I'm so excited.
Why?
I'm still so far away. I'm not even halfway. Ugh.
Oh,
How am I gonna get it?
I finally got my last Umbrite the other day, and now it doesn't even matter because I have a Sophia weapon.
Why
well,
would
I don't
you?
think it mattered in the first place.
It doesn't matter.
Until the Sophia weapons, it was the best.
Nika, are you a bad player?
I'm an okay player.
Because Yoshi says those are in there for bad players. That's a direct quote.
That's why I didn't get mine until last week.
That's why I didn't get mine at all.
Yep.
So now you're only a bad player for a few days, but you're still a bad player.
Okay.
Hey, that's what Yoshi says. Don't look at me. That's what he says.
I don't think you are qualified to talk about Final Fantasy XIV if you don't experience every bit of content that is in it, which includes Relic and Lords of Vermilion.
Has Yoshi experienced every content in the game? I'll bet you there's stuff in the game he doesn't do.
Yeah, well, he doesn't talk about the game in the same capacity, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah, he only did an hour-long keynote address on it.
About the next expansion.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense, I suppose.
Different.
So Palace.
We all seen how bad he was at PvP.
You know what? That's a fair point because he got rocked.
To be fair, he went with Black Mage, which was I think he was the only one that whole day to go Black Mage.
Yeah, not exactly the winner of the PvP world right now. So anyway, we got Palace of the Dead coming up. We got floors 51 to 200. This is where we're being told that starting on floor 101, shit gets real. Are you?
That's what he said. I mean, there was that picture at FanFest that was like the creepy looking tunnel with fog, and he goes, "This is where hell begins."
The pictures that they were releasing screamed Promethean at me so loudly.
Huh?
Did
really?
No one else got Promethean out of that?
No.
Promethean's black and this was white.
Yeah, Promethean felt really lazy
Completely
because
different.
all they did was put a few like rock pillars on the ground and then just blacked out the rest of the textures in the background and just made it black. I always thought it was very lazy development design.
Maybe, but I just like the way everything is like grayscaled out, and maybe it's better to be described as Esha. I don't know. It just
I guess that's
everything's just grayscaled out and seems kind of destroyed and archaic. It felt Promethean-esque to me. I don't know. All right. What about the weapons that we're getting this time around? Do they not look?
Those look sweet.
Yeah, they look infinitely better.
Yeah, they're not just like glowing, again, cheap texture design.
Not just
But
blue.
these remind me a lot more of the Ravana weapons because the Ravana ones glow red, but these are like
elegant.
These actually look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. The design is nice, and the fact that it's like the entire weapon glows red and not just like part of it is really cool.
And the Bard one actually looks good because most of the Bard weapons, the bows just look.
The arrows glow
terrible.
too. Look at that. The arrows are.
Oh, they do. Yeah, that's very cool.
On his back.
What do you guys think about this ranking system? Because like we talk a lot about properly incentivizing stuff. Gear obviously is the number one, but a ranking system for an event that people actually like, unlike say Verminion, might work.
No, I definitely think it will because you're gonna race to be like just because I mean there are probably some classes that I don't know if you could solo the entire thing on that class, but just see like how far you can get and try to be the warrior who's gone the farthest or something is cool. So I mean I think that people are really looking forward to this.
I agree. I know Yoshi said that most people will not be able to clear to floor 200, which says to me there will be your people who like go hardcore at it trying to clear, and then there's going to be just I think a lot of groups that are just, hey, how far have you gotten in Palace of the Dead? Like what's your highest floor clear?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the people who are going to be that are going to want to go get to floor 200. I think everyone of those people are going to be able to clear up to 200. So
You think it'll just be the people who are just maybe testing it out for the Aether gear won't make it?
yeah, I think the people who like don't actually do like EX primals and stuff like that, the casuals won't be able to get there. But everyone who tries, they'll get there.
And that's always the hardest thing to gauge from from SE. Yeah, Aniero, Lord and Savior of Palace of the Dead. That's always the hardest thing to gauge from them is when they say something is going to be difficult. That could mean literally anything. Because like we've seen things like Gordius, we've seen Savage Binding Coil, we've seen, and all the way up to where we're at now with Alexandrian or Creator. What does difficult mean from them anymore?
What does it mean?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I think they definitely know that Gordius Gordius was difficult. But there was a lot of artificial difficulty with DPS check. There was a lot of server difficulty because of the server ping and not being able to pass things on time. So I don't know if they consider that difficulty or if they actually if they're going to say, oh, there's a really high DPS check on this boss, it's difficult.
Sure.
Or, I mean, but the fact that they say that like a very small percent is going to reach 200, I don't know. I have faith.
Okay. I kind of agree with you. They don't hesitate to flat out say people won't be able to do this. I don't think I've ever heard them say, I think that maybe they said that was Savage Coil, where they said a good portion of people won't be able to do this. I don't think they've ever said that about something else that I can remember. So I'm with you. I think I kind of take them at their word at that this is going to be very, very hard. So with Creator now being down, obviously the World Firsters have already gone through there. Do you think those World First groups will try to go Palace of the Dead floor 200?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Especially because they're advertising this as being so difficult, most players will not get there. I think that the World Firsters, there are going to be people that want to be like the first person to clear floor 200 for sure.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you think that these red weapons will only come from 200 or will that be a floor 100 reward?
My guess is 100.
Yeah, because they made it sound like 100 to 200 is legit just for the challenge. So I think that 50 to 100 is going to be where these come from.
Yeah.
They gotta give us something for clearing 200.
I think you're going to get...
I hope we get a title.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
At least because you can wear that around, and that's I think helps with the gear list, because first of all, there's not a lot of gear list. There's glamour where you can always change what your shit looks like. So having a title that you can put on, I remember for the longest time when I had the T13 title, I think it was, I had a lot of people being like, "Oh my gosh, you cleared it already!"
Yeah.
They were like, and it was like a thing to wear that title around as like bragging rights. So I hope we at least get that.
Yeah, I could see that with like if you got like Lord of the Dead or something like that, and you walk around and like, whoa, that person's cleared floor 200. That's something.
Yeah, okay, but people don't chase titles. That's the problem, is that they just don't care enough for it.
I suppose.
I still want T8 Savage title.
Yeah, exactly. You still want it, but how easy is it that you can go get it right now, but you just haven't?
Yeah, because there's nobody else who wants to do it with me.
Well, and now because the title doesn't mean anything anymore. When T13 first launched, like Nika was saying, having that title was kind of something.
But it makes it sound like, though, if this is that hard, in the sense it's going to clearly be level synced to 60, I would assume that even once our level cap increases to 70, when we go back into floors 100 or 200, it would still be level 60 synced, right? So I assume that this is always going to be difficult.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it will be 60 sync. I just would think we'll get more floors with the expansion.
I'm willing to bet, and I've been saying this since the beginning, because this is called Deep Dungeon, then semi-title Palace of the Dead, that in the next expansion we'll get Deep Dungeon, Tower of the blah, blah, blah. Like, it'll be a whole different dungeon.
Deep Dungeon, Castle in the Sky.
Right. And then it'll be floor 1 again, and it will start at, it'll go up to level 70.
Yeah.
I think Kinky Cavi is right. They're going to give an Edda minion.
What's his name?
That would be Kinky Kevi.
Oh, my. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
An Edda minion would be nice, or Edda outfit. Yeah, her outfit would be cool.
Yeah.
And Edda, isn't her outfit just like that long... Oh, no, it's the dress, right?
In the original Tamtara Heart, she just had like a low-level outfit on, but in the Palace of the Dead, she has an updated outfit.
That's right. Okay. So also, of course, animal weapons are coming this time around. Really no announcement yet on what that's going to involve this time, but, it'll be the same as usual, I would assume.
We'll get a data
Can I read
mined
the
about an
paragraph?
hour
I'll read the
after-
paragraph. Can I read the paragraph?
Read
We
the
do that
paragraph.
sometimes, right? I'm going to read the
All
paragraph. It
right,
says,
all right.
after many tests and trials, the anima would appear to be at the pinnacle of perfection. To that end, shut up. To that end, Ardashir is making preparations to return to the Near East that he might present his findings. Geralt, on the other hand, believes there is
Good reading.
advancement. Did you move me out of the channel?
What's wrong, Nika?
Oh, I
That
thought
was a
Discord
really
cut
great,
out.
great reading, Nika. I applaud.
Why doesn't
that.
it make a
was
beep when you
perfect.
move me out of the channel? That's bullshit.
I got so worried. I thought we had disconnected. I'm like, oh no.
What the? You suck. I can't tell because I don't have the thing open.
Geralt, on the other hand, believes there is yet work to be
That's
done.
where you kicked me out back there.
Yeah. Could our resident
Could our
drunkard
resident
and realm
drunkard and realm-renowned blacksmith hold the key to the anima's advancement?
God damn it, I read that so much better than you did. You suck.
Limit Break Radio, a realm renown. All right.
A
Realm-renowned.
radio ruined
A
by these two assholes.
Really, what-
ruined or made better?
Probably
Ruined.
ruined. I don't know. Like, what is like this episode? Normally, we talk a lot about this cast being extremely balanced. We have Aniero and
We're the
Callow.
three derpiest ones on this.
Yeah, exactly. There's Aniero and Callow who make very succinct, sensible, douchey points.
Do you see
Douchey.
sensible though? I don't know about that.
Sometimes, occasionally sensible points. And then there's the three of us. We've got the Troll Master, and then me and Nika, who are the Care Bears, and it all just kind of balances out.
And then Papa's just there to laugh at all of us.
Yeah, and
He's just back there giggling.
and today it's the Eskalia position show, and that I don't see how we're possibly gonna make it to 4:00. There's just no way.
We're still on the news. How long do we usually spend on FF14 news? Like, not this long.
Fair enough. Let's crank through this. The last.
You
Usually
forgot
an hour
about
and
the
a half.
feast.
All right, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right, guys, mount up for the Feast Season 3. This is going to be the end of Season 2 of the Feast, Tuesday, November 1st, of course, with the release of patch 3.45. Season 3 will be releasing. So we have an image that hints at the Season 3 reward, and it's a guy riding a behemoth-looking thing.
It's a dragon.
No, it looks like a hyena. Just a really big one.
Well, we have 3 hosts and 3 different ideas of what it is.
What hyena has horns on it?
Okay, is that horns? I thought that was hair or ears.
I'm going to try to get this
It-
up.
okay, with the spikes on the back, it reminds me of like the hyenas from Lion King, just bigger. But the tail looks like a dragon scale. So maybe it's a
Nika.
chimera.
I'm naming
It's a
mine.
chimera, guys.
I'm naming
Done,
mine
it's
Ed.
A chimera. It's a
That chimera is clearly emancipated.
It's definitely a chimera.
Someone in the chat, Taser Smurf says hellhound. Could be a hellhound.
already
Yeah,
got one of
see,
those.
hyena is much closer than dragon to hell.
We've already got a hellhound mount.
Yeah, you're right. I
It
was
doesn't
thinking.
look like that.
I mean, we have that little tiny like wolf thing, that blue guy.
Yeah, everyone pretty
That-
much agrees hellhound.
yeah.
I thought behemoth, but now that I look at like that long snout,
It
I guess not.
Definitely, the tail looks like a dragon tail, but the rest looks like a hyena.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll go with I'll believe hellhound. I'll buy that.
A
So
jackal. That's what I'm looking for. The word, not hyena, jackal. That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Trodude.
Oh, I can accept jackal, but
That's
definitely
the
not
word
hyena.
I was looking for, but hyena is what came into my head.
That's
so
because you're a preschool teacher.
Kindergarten, but thanks.
Same thing.
Not.
it's
They're
not
all
the same
small
thing.
and not smart, so I don't care about them.
Actually, they are quite smart. They are probably smarter than you in some ways.
I highly doubt that.
Well, there's nothing that's more synonymous with juxtaposition than intelligence. So
Exactly. Can a
Kindergarten
preschooler
level.
spell Mississippi? I can. MISSISSIPPI.
Oh,
Boom.
good job.
under a second.
Yay.
Oh,
Oh man, don't mess with Juxta.
I know.
I have-
Five-year-old
Stupid,
genius.
stupid children.
I have found a new respect for Aniero. He puts up with this every week. Every week.
Daddy is my
Well,
hero.
We all put up with this too. Oh gosh, we can talk about him and he can't talk back.
That's true. You can say whatever you want. Maybe we should have a little therapy session here. Get it all out. Say whatever you want to Aniero.
Is this a real show, guys?
This is a real show.
We're getting paid for this. Suckers.
So at the end of this week, or tomorrow actually is Halloween, we will be ending the Halloween event. And we talked about it a little bit last week. But the Halloween event this time around is really good. Is anyone?
Yeah,
I mean,
surprisingly.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just really good even for, it's not like, oh yeah, for a holiday event that was pretty good. No, it's just pretty good overall.
Unless your name
It's
is
fun.
Surin, who hates everything.
I don't know anyone whose name is Surin, so I guess that's fire.
Yeah, I don't either. So that works out. So what I want to talk to you guys about is, what is a seasonal event done right versus one done wrong? Like we've done plenty of holiday events that have just been awful. Why is this event good? In your, like, if you had to like sum it up, why is this event good for you?
Okay, I think this event is good because the actual content is interesting, unlike previous events where it's just grinding out some fates or whatever.
Yeah,
This one is good because we actually go to a place and we actually have to complete objectives, which are actually randomized. So each time you do it, it's going to be like different or just engaging.
Yeah, there was actually objectives that were new. They had to come up with it on their own. They reskinned an old environment that they clearly like Hawk Manor for lots of things, you can tell. But there was the music inside of it, the gameplay was different, like getting turned into a pumpkin, that was hilarious. And the whole sanity thing was a throwback to old Amnesia in games.
Yeah.
So it was definitely had that old FF feel, as well as like a little bit of Nice Isle, which is what we all wanted Palace of Zed to feel like.
And that's like the first time I heard it described. I hadn't done it yet, and I think Juxta, it was you in the host chat. You're like, this is a tech demo for Nice Isle. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be like, this was, there's no combat. Obviously, you could run in as a level 1 culinarian and it wouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But still, the objectives were fun. They were different every time. I think I went in, I did it 3 different times to get all the permanent rewards, and I think I maybe saw one objective repeated.
Oh, wow.
Out of the 3 times I went in.
Okay.
They were all different, which was really cool that they actually spent the time to come up with that many, like 9 or 10 different objectives.
Right.
Cool.
I've only done it twice so far, and yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any objectives repeat, but that's really neat that even on a third playthrough it still hasn't. So what do you guys think is the appropriate reward from a holiday event? Do you think that is it okay to have a reward that has a persistent use outside of that holiday event? Or do you think like it should be just aesthetic purposes?
Aesthetic.
Yeah?
Yeah, because holiday events come around once ever. And so if somebody like started the game on Wednesday, they'd have no chance of getting them. So if it was like a good item you could use outside of just fun, is that really fair?
Well, let me take you.
I mean,
Because then if they took that and put it in the cash shop like they do with some, then it becomes
Exactly.
but then it becomes play to win or pay to win, and we don't want that.
no, because you could play to win, but if you weren't playing at the time, then well, that's on you, buddy.
Okay.
Oh,
I
don't know.
Like, do you remember?
I think glamour. I think mounts, which is a little bit bummer that FanFest they said that the broom was last year's event, and this year we'd get the chair, and we're not actually getting the chair until like next patch. What the hell?
Yeah, kind of a missed opportunity not getting that ready for Halloween.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the swimsuits that you could get in 11 for one of the summer events that would teleport you to the one island, to the island Perganorgo Isle?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was never a big deal.
That's true. I didn't think of something like that. Like, not something that's maybe game breaking, but just that'll save you a little bit of time. Like a direct free teleport to one specific place.
Right.
I bet why don't we have a bathing suit that teleports us to Costa del Sol by now? How many times do we go there for in-game events? That would be helpful.
Yeah, I remember having that item and thinking like, well, that's useless. I don't do clamming, so that's not that's not important in any way to me.
But it does help the people that do, and it's outside of the particular event itself.
And then one day I was doing my Chains of Promathia missions, and it said, go hit this question mark on Perganorgo Isle. That ferry ride, that was like a 30-minute wait. You had to go to Babiki Bay, and it was like a 20-minute cycle to actually get on the boat. So being able to just teleport there immediately because I had done that summer event was really cool.
Yeah, but in this game, like, okay, so you get an item that teleports you to Costa del Sol, I mean, you could already teleport there for the low cost of 500 gills.
Sure.
So...
Well, and it doesn't have to necessarily be teleporting, but is there some mechanic that they could put onto one of these items that wouldn't break the game, but would have some value to keep around? Because I think 11 did that actually on a couple of different occasions. Wasn't the fortune egg and the happy egg that you could equip in your ammo slot, like at low levels?
Give you like 1% extra something.
1%
HP.
HP or MP, yeah, and but that was worth having in that ammo slot because most people couldn't put anything there.
Yeah, that's fair too. I mean, I feel like having gear and rewards that come from holiday events that was actually worth something would make people more interested in doing it.
That's true.
One thing that's it's like another cosmetic reward, but would kill is something that's taken from WoW, and it's things called costume buffs, where it just changes how your character looks for a certain amount of time. And the very first one in World of Warcraft was something called the Orb of Deception, which changes your race into a race of the opposite faction, which had no bearing on like actual gameplay,
Sure.
but it just made your character change for a little bit. And I would really like to see something like that come to Final Fantasy XIV, because costume effects are the bomb.
They are, but I feel like because this game actually has a Fantasia, which is a way to permanently change your race, I think it's less cool. I think back in like 11 and WoW, where you have to create a whole new character to have a new race, I think it was more appealing.
No, because see, what evolved from World of Warcraft was being able to change into beast tribes. So in this, it would be like being able to turn into a Kikrin for a certain amount of time, or a Amolja, and then they don't actually have to put that race into the game, because you could just have.
But would you actually get to play as those races, or would it be like in 11 how you just like turned into a baby tar?
Yeah, you just look like one.
Minutes and then it wore off.
You just look like one, and then you fight like one, whatever, for a little bit.
Yeah.
So they actually had to create animations for your character to be able to like move around and.
Not exactly. It just uses whatever custom stock animations the mobs already have.
Okay, it just applies them to you.
Which looks really weird when you're a druid and all your stuff is meant to be like having like with like cat claws and shit. So it works out even better that way.
I think Kookie's already nailed the problem that we're going to have with this. Is they're going to put the succubus costume in, and there's going to be succubi everywhere.
That's a bad thing?
Well,
do you not want succubus everywhere?
I mean, it's gonna lose its appeal when you just warp into Idleshire and there's like 10,000 succubus.
Giant boobs everywhere? Yeah, that'll lose its appeal so quickly, Mr. Ryumasa.
Yeah, all right, you make a fair point.
It'll be a win.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you know what? You've sold me. I'm on board.
See,
Succubus costumes for all.
I would be on board if I could change into primals. Like, let me be Shiva. I'm down for that.
Oh God, yeah, everyone's just hanging out as freaking Thornton. No, it's gonna be things like you say, Kikirin. It's gonna be Amalja, Ixali. That's the same thing.
Chloe.
What is it?
Chloe, the little
What turned into baby Mikotes?
Yeah. No, I do not want in the game, because I've been on Balmung and I know where that's gonna go. No.
Oh God.
Absolutely
Plus,
not.
They would actually have to create animations for child characters, I think, because they don't have those stock in the game.
That's fine.
All right. Well, what do you say to that? Just, I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm going to go back to why this is good and how it could be better.
Okay.
I think that the one thing that could have made this event better is a storyline that actually made sense. I loved the gameplay for this, but the storyline for the past like 3 years of this stupid Halloween event has literally been, ooh, we're these evil imps disguised as Aura, and we're here to make mischief. And then when you discover that they're really imps, it's like, oh my God, they're really imps. Whatever can we do? Like, it's really dumb. And I wish there was just a little bit more story that mattered, which is why I actually really liked the FF13 and 11 crossover, and it's why I really liked the anniversary event, not this year but last year, because there was story that actually mattered.
And we're about to talk about lore associated with these in just a sec. I do, as a kind of wrap up on that, I just want to say it's so nice to have a holiday event that isn't cutscene, warp, talk to NPC, cutscene, done, and that's it. Like, because that's the last 4 holiday events I've done. That's what it's been. It's
We're
like
doing a ton of fate grinding. I hate doing those.
I'm not doing
endless amounts of fate grinding.
Okay, and that was another thing I didn't like about the I mean, it's difficult because yes, the story is nice, but like look at I know it's so difficult because like how do you make a holiday event or a seasonal event perfect? Because the fate grinding, like even though I liked the story of the 13 and the 11 and all of that, there was still fate after fate after fate. And like if you have to wait around for the fate, and then because there's like 20 billion people doing it, the fate lasts for 5 seconds, and then you miss it and you have to wait for the next one.
Yep. And that brings
And like
me to
even with lightnings, she had like story in like she would talk after you finished a fate, and if you missed it, then you like missed it. Like,
well, that brings me to this question: should there be canon lore in holiday events ever?
Well,
I think so. That would be cool.
All of the lore is already canon because we've had 3 Halloween events and they all tie together.
Okay, let me rephrase. Canon lore that matters. Like we saw.
Excuse me, those mischievous imps, and they're trying to take over the world and destroy it. But we as adventurers outwit them every time. So that is very important lore.
Okay, of course it is. Well,
you know what? When I get my lore book on Monday, I'm going to consult the lore book on the Halloween event, and you will be sorry. You will rue the day you have crossed the Halloween event.
Okay, and what happens when there's nothing in there about it because it's not important?
Well, then I'm going to go straight to Koji about that.
Oh,
Or you have that straight of a connection to Koji?
Oh, trust me.
Juxta's got his number. He's got him on speed dial.
He actually begged me to add him on Skype so I would talk to him about stuff. So I'm like, all right, fine, Koji. Just stop begging me all the time. I have pizzas to deliver.
Juxtaposition lore consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that is a terrifying thought.
That guy that he actually talked to about the lore book, the guy that like knows all the lore. That's actually my pseudonym.
Oh. Well, if I've ever been more wait a minute, that's how you know what's going to happen in the game. You're not a prophet at all.
You could just call me Quick Thinks.
Quick things juxtapox.
I'm going to be sick. Okay. So what I wanted to mention about the canon lore events is we've had 2 events now where a character from 11 has come into Eorzea. We had Shantoto appear and Iroha appear. And while neither of these events, I wouldn't say established a lot of lore in 14, they actually added to the lore in 11. Shantoto's appearance actually fits with when she disappears in a Shantoto Ascension in 11, and Iroha's appearance, of course, right at the end. Yeah, when Shantoto was missing throughout the first half of a Shantoto Ascension, that's when she was in Eorzea. That's what her appearance here was.
I didn't play that one.
Shame on you. Iroha, her appearance.
Like $10 for fetch quests. Screw that.
Wow. Okay. Well, there was some anger there. You wanna?
Yeah.
I didn't buy any of those 3 fucking fetch quest expansions. They're not worth $10 for like 8,000 fetch quests and 1 little piece of pants at the end. Screw
Okay,
that
excuse
shit.
you. It wasn't about the quest. It was about the customizable gear at the end.
Hell yeah.
You could have
No.
awesome dancer gear.
No.
Cure potency plus 10%. Yes, please.
Yeah, double attack on
Lie.
pants. Yes, please.
Nope.
What? You didn't even do it for the stories on them?
No, it was $10 for a piece of equipment and fetch quest. Not worth it.
There was a story on all of them.
Not good.
A crystalline prophecy actually dealt with Aldo.
Oh, wait. Really?
Yeah, that was a story about Aldo in Verena.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, it wasn't worth it for the $10 whole for a few cutscenes. I just couldn't justify it, especially being a broke college kid. So.
All right, well, Nika's
Moving
going
on
back to
from
11
just
again.
Pure hypocrisy.
Yeah, yes.
So, and Iroha's appearance in the game is the follow-up after Rhapsody's ends. And I think it's cool that they would use a holiday event to further the lore of another game, but like, would anyone willingly consider that the canon of the other game? Or, I don't know. What do you think?
I almost want to say no.
No?
Because, like, especially with lightnings, where does, like, she's like, oh, I'm being tested by being sent to another world, but I'm not entirely sure that actually fits in with 13's lore at all.
Oh,
I mean, I haven't finished playing all of the 13 games, but I feel like the way that she was just kind of like, oh, I must have been sent here as a test, that was just an excuse to kind of make it fit with their lore, but I can't see that being canon.
I agree. I feel like someone on the 14 team was played through a Shantoto Ascension and was like, I can make that work. Oh, yeah, and also, Nika, A Crystalline Prophecy is also where you find out that Lion isn't dead. That's where that's confirmed.
That's bullshit. She's totally dead.
She's not dead.
What are you talking? You saved.
She's dead in fucking Rhapsodies.
You fight with her in Rhapsodies.
You fight with all of them, but none of them are actually there. It's called trust shit. Okay, this is for another episode.
Okay, no, it's not for another episode. We're never doing that episode again.
Okay, anyway, I think this sets an important lore for the whole Final Fantasy franchise. Before the Final Fantasy 14, it was kind of confirmed in like the other like lesser games that yes, all the Final Fantasies are connected in dimensions or whatever. But in this a numbered game, it is confirmed that they're all connected. At least
it was
11
confirmed
and
in
14.
Dissidia.
That's not a real game.
Is
that
a real
is
game.
not a real game.
It is a real game.
It has to
And
be
it
a
was a good
numbered
one.
title.
No, I mean Juxta does have a good point. I will say that especially that apparently but now I have to ask: can we just step into a portal and port to Vanadil or to Spira?
Boy, I hope so. That's the story I'm waiting for in 14.
I want my Rogadin to appear and fight Sin with Tidus. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's
Well,
go.
I don't know.
But Waka's already in the game. Why would you want to do that?
What?
Your Rogadin, Waka, they're the same person. At least looks
They
wise.
don't look
Boo.
at all. Okay, that was a fail.
that was not
fail.
good.
Nice
That
try.
was terrible.
No.
Uh,
No.
I don't know. Yeah, I like the idea of being able to walk through a portal into another game. Can you like imagine you're sitting there, you go through a portal, and now you're in like the ruins of Juno and it's destroyed?
Or even better
you mean
yet.
like going to another world in the future of that game?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh.
Or even better yet, you're playing through Final Fantasy 15 and you can link your 14 account and then you can play as your character in Final Fantasy 15.
Well, they've already confirmed that for paying monies, which I think we'll talk about on the other show. But for paying monies, you can play as other characters. So can we pay monies and play as our character? That'd be sweet.
Can we get that ported over? I want to play as my Mikote. She's going on this sweet road trip that apparently the game's about. I realized yesterday how little I still know about FF15 because someone's like, yeah, you get to hang out, or you get a little story that goes into the background of Ignis, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know who that is.
Who's Ignis?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I have no idea. I know one name of a character in that game,
Is
and
that
it's
Noctis?
no, it was Ignis because I'd heard it from my friend.
You should know Noctis.
Now I know
Noctis
Noctis.
is the
Okay,
name.
so now there's two.
He's the guy with the black hair.
Noctis is the main character.
There's a guy with black. That's Zach, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
a soldier.
Okay, good. Yeah, I know a little bit about this then. No,
Has Mako poisoning.
I still
Shut
know
up.
nothing about
Reel it in,
15.
you children. Reel it in.
I know there was a new trailer for 15 and it's so good.
This is something that we
Wait, Eskalia, how are we going to talk about this on FEC if you can't know anything about 15? This is horribly scary and I'm mad.
I didn't put any 15 news on FEC. I hope
But
someone else
there
did.
was a trailer, a really good new trailer.
You guys will have.
Did you put it in the article collection, Nika?
I thought I linked it somewhere. Maybe it was in my other Discord.
Yeah,
Shit.
I avoid all
Yeah.
things titled FF15 until this game
God damn it.
releases.
I'm going to add it before the show.
All right. So to wrap up this this wonderful episode of Simply Juxta, I want to talk about the Christmas event, which is coming up. What are your predictions? Are we going to see something more like what we have now, or what we're more traditionally used to with holiday events?
Well, what was the holiday event last year?
Garbage.
Oh, it was going around to the housing wards and clicking on the Christmas trees.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said,
That was
garbage.
terrible.
Actually, that used an interesting mechanic because it actually relied on the players to have put the trees up in their house. If there was no players that had a yellow tree, you didn't get to click on a yellow tree. So I think that was kind of cool that it relied on the players' activity in the event to be able to do the event, which was kind of cool.
Well, I just know that I'm not going to put any trees on my lawn because I don't want no pores coming around my area. So if you want my yellow tree, you're going to have to give me 50K gil.
Hashtag Callo said if we get $200 in donations he would go femroy for a month, so here is 10% to that.
Did Kahlo actually say that?
Did he actually say that?
I'm sure he did.
He did.
Oh, and there goes
Cookie
Cookie
can
with the
confirm.
confirmation.
Yeah, I was streaming with him last night, and he did say that.
Oh my! All right,
Okay. Please turn Califemro for a month.
you heard
Please
him.
send those donations. We need that.
We are $180 away from Femro Callow for a month.
Please.
Oh
Please make
my
this
god!
happen.
Can we have like anti-femro donations to like push that away from the mark? Because
Nope,
we really don't need
everything-
any
nope.
more femros.
Nope.
in the
I want to
world.
design it too.
We've done games like that before. Vote for or against and put your donation on it. Higher number wins. We've done that before. But no, I think if he said $200 donated, we make Femro Callow. I like that.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes.
So yeah,
You know, I managed to get him to cheer for Femrose for, well, I don't know, we made some deal for some bet. I think it was for the bet. It was a big bet last year.
The
where he
bet.
actually like cheered on Femrose for a few weeks. That was pretty nice.
that was a good time. Very
Bring it
short-lived.
back to that. Get the Femro. Let's do it.
So yeah, the Christmas event. What do you think it'll be this time around? Obviously, last time it sucked.
I don't think we're going to get another Halloween event, to be honest. I think we're going to get something stupid and boring like last
You don't think
year's.
they'll make like a Christmas mansion where we have to...
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's go to
Oh,
the
maybe.
panel.
Maybe we'll get to actually go to the North Pole and meet the real Santa elf.
It's called Snowcloak, and her name is Shiva. She's already there. You can hang out with her.
But she doesn't help the smile bringers. Wait, that's 11, isn't it?
Do I get
The Smile Bringers was 11. Oh my god! If we get to meet Gabi Santa and help him deliver presents all across Eorzea, I'll lose
But
my
it
mind.
needs to be better than 11s because 11s was just here's a present, go find a child in Bastock and give it to them. Like
Yeah.
we need like to actually have some kind of gameplay where we have to go like save a child and then make them happy with a Christmas present or something. Like some actual gameplay.
Do I
Because
get
going and
this-
clicking is not gameplay.
I just want to sit on Santa Shiva's lap.
That's what it was, Taser. Godbert was Santa, right?
Spoiler alert, okay, and you can't confirm
Here's
that
another
one way or another.
$5 for
Okay.
Kalos
Oh.
exchange. Hashtag Camp Eskalia.
All right, we're at 25.
All right, $175 away from Femro Callow.
Camp Escalia? Why is that Camp Escalia?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think that's a throwback to the bet.
Hashtag Callow Row.
Team Aniero.
Oh.
and
Since
Team
we are
Juxta.
going to giving guys
Gosh,
tips,
whoa.
here is $5 for hashtag Calero and $5 for the boob fund.
Well, there is no boob fund, so we're going $10 towards Callow Row.
No, the 5 of them are for your boobs.
5 of them
Isn't
are
that
okay.
what
That I'll tell you what, that fund is getting very wealthy.
the
Like I like how even if I decided to transition, I don't want boobs. But
Ooh,
I'm gonna
Ramu
have-
Santa. You know, because Ramu's actually a good guy. We know that, right? So his beard makes for the most epic of Santa Clauses. Thank you, Kasumi, for that suggestion. I like it.
And on that lovely note, this has been Simply Juxta. Juxta, how do you feel? It's been a while since you've done an episode.
Well, I feel like you two being my special little helpers did a pretty poor job, but I guess we're gonna have to deal with what
Are
it
we
is
Santa's
because it
helpers?
is. No, you're Juxta's helpers. And you have disappointed me to no extent.
To no extent.
To no extent. Like, if
To
there
no
was
end.
a level below children, you would be below children. That's how terrible you guys are.
This has been a hell of a day. We've had a new episode of Voices of Vanadil, a new episode of Simply Juxta.
What more?
So now we need a
episodes-
new one of He Says, She Says.
No.
Let's get
Okay,
Tom
so-
two in here.
No, I got it. So we're gonna have the next episode of Riddle Me This with our
Oh,
raid
God.
discussion.
Yeah,
Who-
you're not wrong,
who was that
actually.
one?
Oh,
As much
Oh,
as
God.
I don't like Femrose,
Oh my God, Mary!
Mary drops the $100 donation
Whoa!
to get us up to what is that?
Thank you, Mary.
135,
We're 135 now. We need 65 more.
$65. Oh my God.
well, that is
Mary,
definitely.
you are awesome. And Callow has no idea.
Oh, it's gonna be great when he finds out. I'm gonna be so happy. So yeah, we're now a few weeks removed from FanFest. We're even more now, almost a month now removed from the launch of patch 3.4. 3.45 obviously coming on Tuesday. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit, Nika, about, you've got your pulse on the endgame raid community. You know what's going on, right?
More or less.
All
I
right.
suppose.
So I kind of want to get your feel of how is this tier of rating so far? How in comparison to Midas, in comparison to Gordius, in comparison to Coil, how has this tier of rating been so far?
It's definitely way easier.
Okay.
I'm still on A10S, but it seems just in general, even the most casual of groups cleared A9 right away.
Okay.
And in the past, I was used to spending at least a month, at least on the harder tiers, where it seems this one is maybe a week, 2 weeks, and you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Even for the groups that are struggling, or the groups that only raid once or twice a week, they're able to spend just a couple weeks and you're good. I think the people who were World First cleared it within the first week, I think, right? And obviously they had, at FanFest they were saying, well, a week times 24 hours, they had all that time. Yeah,
Oh,
and no, they do. The World First groups are groups that manage to either not work or take off work for that purpose. We understand that, but.
And the
All right.
letter B #Calero.
Wow.
Jinx McNinja, there it is. $65 for the win.
All right, so that's $200 raised. Femro Callow, please look forward to it.
Callow's gonna come back with some bullshit it had to be while I was streaming. Nope, that wasn't in
No,
the
I
rules.
don't think so. Absolutely not. 200 people donated. You're doing
Can
it.
we give him an out with #NoRo? And if NoRo gets to 200, it doesn't have to be a femro.
But everyone's gonna want him to be a femro, so
Yeah, no, this is happening.
So
it is happening.
Just have the option. #NoRo.
No, because
we don't need any more femros.
We need as many femros as possible.
yeah, I think we have to do this. That was what we said in the chat. So we made it to 200. We
And then
absolutely
I
have to
will
do this.
invite him in the femro link shell, and he will see how amazing femros are, and he will never want to change back.
Oh my god, I want to see him stream his induction into the Femro link shell.
Jesus.
It's really just, oh, you're a femro, here's a pearl. But
Kooky had a great idea. Juxta log on, change his character, and when he comes home and logs on, he's a ephemeral.
Please do it, Juxta.
I could probably do that.
You're like, dude, the money was there.
Juxta
I
doesn't.
know all his passwords.
Juxta doesn't like trolling, or doesn't like Femros. But when you add an element of trolling to it, then suddenly it becomes palatable.
Okay, yeah, I could do this. I'm pretty sure he's at work right now, so be pretty good.
All right, we look forward to seeing Callow Femro in the very near
Designed
future.
by Juxta.
Please look forward
I'm
to
a
it.
little bit scared about what kind of femro he's going to
I'm suddenly more excited about designing his femro.
Because you can make some really beautiful femros, but I'm not gonna lie, you can make some really fugly ones too.
Case in point, Nika's character.
My character is beautiful. And I have to ask, Juxta, are you the one who made the stupid Knights of the Round Table for our thing? For the
What do you
design?
what do
I
you mean
love
did
it,
I
but
make
I'm
it?
looking at them, you designed it. Because
mm.
the iCam is horrible because all the people are sitting in one place. So it's like just showing furniture around the house with nobody in it.
Yeah, the iCam's not doing us any favors today.
I don't think I've seen a person on the stream in 10 minutes.
All right, fine. You know what? You don't like the table. Fine. Okay. You know what? No, you don't get the table no more. You don't like the table? I'm taking it away. We're taking everything off the table and we're getting rid of the table.
Are we just sitting in chairs now?
We're taking away
No, the
the
table's still there.
pumpkin. We're getting rid of the candle.
Oh,
Okay. Goodbye.
He is de-decorating.
Oh wait, there's one more.
No.
There's one more. Give me that. Give me that and that. Okay. Goodbye.
Here's
There.
the wand too?
Nobody gets to use it now.
Juxta giveth and Juxta taketh away.
Oh my
There.
god, that's not what I wanted to happen.
Oh,
You
good.
did. This is what you wrought, Nika.
And then it gave us a crotch shot at least. Right when
Even the game's like,
Thank you,
good.
iCam. Thank
Good
you.
job.
Fix the iCam. It's fixed.
All right. So yeah, A9 and A10 seem to be the ones that pretty much everyone can do with a little bit of work. Hell, even I cleared A9S. I'm working on A10S right now. I've gotten it down to about 20%-ish or something like that. So it has to be. It can't be that hard if I'm capable of doing it. But what I'm noticing is more people shouting, more people in Party Finder, and even people in Raid Finder looking for groups to do this. And I've never seen that before. Maybe for the first week after a raid tier launched, you'd see that. But a month out, I'm still seeing that, at least on Sargatanis. What do you think? Is that people think, hey, this is possible and it's fun, I actually want to try it?
Yes, and I think that's a good thing. However, I'm a little disappointed that their Square Enix's frame of mind seems to be that it's, one difficulty or nothing. They were saying at FanFest, I was getting so hyped because they were saying, okay, when we released Coil, there was 1 difficulty. And when we released Alex, there was 2 difficulties. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to say 3 difficulties. I'm so excited. And then and we're trying to figure out how to fix it for the next time. We're like,
that was the best troll. Thank you for that.
No, I mean, it was, and I don't think they realized that they trolled. I think that was totally accidental because the thing is that I do think a raid tier like this needs to exist. It makes people feel like they are raiding. I mean, you are raiding, but when it is the only difficulty, those people who want that extra challenge, we just have to wait for Palace of the Dead 100 for just the bragging rights. Like, I would like the raid tier rewards. And the thing is that people can bitch all they want. They're like, oh, well, we want to have the highest eye level too. But like, if you're not a raider, you don't need the highest eye level. Dungeons or primals, whatever the hardest thing is you're doing, does not require top tier eye level. Only raiding will need top tier eye level. So just give those 5% of people that are doing the hardest level the highest eye level. And if you don't get the highest eye level, who the fuck cares? Like, why do we even need a catch-up patch that's going to give everybody the highest eye level? We don't need that. And I think Square Enix is trying to be too much of a Care Bear. And I think that this raid tier is good, but there needs to be more than this.
I completely agree. I don't feel like I love that people are doing this raid tier. I think it's great.
Me too,
because
for sure. I think it's really reinvigorated the community and the party finder, especially in our server where the party finder dies outside of like 6 to 9 p.m.
Because we can write off normal, like creator normal, like it's there. It's a dungeon. It's dungeons effectively. It's there to be done. Get your weekly items out of it and be done with it. It's not hard. It like just go do it and get it done. Get your items. This tier is difficult. It's not, mash your face against a wall difficult, but it's not easy. You do have to learn the fight. It's like Sophia EX. You have to learn the fight, understand what you're doing, have communication. Like, it requires raid tactics and mechanics.
Yeah, raid mentality, raid tactics, raid group. Like, you have to actually have that mentality, whereas in the past, a lot of people didn't have that. So I do think this is good for the raid community. But
should there be a extreme tier? Like we talked about it a little bit a few weeks ago, where SE, you almost get the sense they're using this to try to bring people into the raiding scene before moving the difficulty back up a bit. And if that's what they're trying to do, that's great.
I hope so.
Because like you say, if you do bring people up to this raid tier and you get people invested in raiding and you get people into their statics, then you're going to see people want a bigger challenge. Because you're going to be like, I have no doubt that at the end of, by the time Stormblood is here, there will be many, many, many new statics that did not exist going into Creator.
Sure.
And they're going to want a challenge. They're going to want something difficult going into the next one. Because I feel like a lot of people are learning this time around. Like, for me, I'm learning raid mechanics and raid mentality and understanding, when's an appropriate time. Like, it's not even just like understanding the fight, it's understanding like the social aspect of raiding and knowing when's an appropriate time to be making jokes or calling someone out on something, when's the appropriate, it's understanding your group and learning that group dynamic. People are learning that, and I think a lot of the community doesn't have a ton of experience with it yet. But going into the next one, all that stuff's going to be down. That learning curve is going to be passed already, and they're going to be ready for the actual raid mechanics to be harder.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't even stop talking right there. I don't know. I just hope that Square Enix learns from this and that they actually realize that because a lot of people are doing this raid tier doesn't mean that it's perfect. And I'm kind of worried that they're going to see like, oh, this is what got everyone back in. That means this is exactly what they want. Let's just continue with this.
SE has a terrible habit of misreading the signals. We've seen that time and time and time and time and time again. And you're right. If they look at this and say, whoa, look how many people are doing raiding this patch. We must have hit the sweet spot on difficulty. No, you didn't hit the sweet spot on difficulty. You hit the right spot difficulty-wise to encourage people to learn raiding. Did you hit the right difficulty point to maintain people in raiding? Probably not. And I think you'll see that with your World Firsters. And that's why I think it is good, even though they tried to write it off, that they at least acknowledge that the World Firsters cleared Creator quickly. I think that's very important that they at least acknowledge that, because that means they are.
But they were trying to make excuses.
I
for
know.
it.
Because I look at that as like, hey, we're at FanFest. Everything has to have a positive spin. So like that's kind of how I look at.
So let's call out the world firsters for having no life and no job. Let's do that.
I don't think he called out the world first for having no life or no job.
They completed it in 1 week, and 1 week times 24 is how many whatevers. And because of that, they had this much time. So really, well, you say they did it in a week, they really did it in the amount of time that the average person would spend a month. Like, okay, come on.
I feel like they were trying to say like, hey, these people should be commended on the effort that they put in. Isn't that like that wasn't what you took away from that?
What I took away from that is, hey, look at all these people, all this time people put into doing this thing, and they didn't even get paid for it, and they spent like, working hours doing this thing, and they need to get a life. That's what I took away from it. I don't know about anyone else.
That's a dark takeaway from it, I feel like. I don't think that's what they were going for.
Did no one else get that? That's what I felt. Like they're like, hey, maybe you guys should go outside. There's a thing called the sun and Pokemon Go. You can totally go outside and play video games now.
Well, I guess maybe I'm alone on this. As much as I hate to be the person defending Square Enix, really, you two both think that they were kind of more negatively talking to them?
I don't think they were. I don't think they were shouting it from the rooftops, but I think it was kind of like their little nudge at like, we understand most of you have jobs and lives, and you're not going to clear it in a week. And just because some people cleared it in a week doesn't mean that it's easy. I just feel they're trying to make excuses.
All right.
No, they were
like they're trying to say we didn't make it too easy because the no-lifers are the ones that cleared it first, not the people that spend 2 hours a day. That's what they were trying to say, basically.
Okay.
I don't know. I was just joking around, but no, like I definitely got the feeling like that they knew that it was going to be cleared quickly, so I felt like they wanted to highlight the fact that it was from people who were doing really good, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I looked at that as a, hey, here's a shout out to the guys who did it, and to me that like that's them kind of like softening the, yeah, we get it, like this one was cleared faster. Let's kind of smooth it over for FanFest, and then we'll look at it. I don't know. That's kind of what I took away from it. Juxta, are you going to try rating this time around?
This time around being this current thing of...
Yes, creator.
Probably not. It's mostly due to my work schedule because I'm working between 50 and 60 hours this week alone.
Oof.
And it's probably going to get worse given that there's going to be snow on the ground soon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was kind of interested in it, but at the same time, again, it's like the biggest problem with rating is that, like, I just keep going back to, like, what's the point? And if the point is just to get better gear, then I'm not really all that into it.
Okay.
I'm just not.
But then I have a question for you then. I mean, I understand that mentality totally. Is people like, I don't need better gear because you only need better gear for rating. But then why do all of the casual players complain when they can't get top eye level very fast? Like,
why do they complain? Because they're people and they're awful human beings and they're basically children and they want everything easily.
It just seems very hypocritical. People are like, I'm not going to raid because the only reason I need raid gear is to do more raiding. However, when I can't upgrade my things to highest eye level, I need highest eye level so I can be highest eye level.
I think
but you're not raiding, so why do you care?
I think the reason people do it is because that eye level next to your name is the most fundamental, like, is the easiest gauge for how close you are to beating the game.
So then why not, if that's what you care about, why not raid?
I agree with you. I think you should. And especially in creator, you should, like, these are mechanics that everyone can learn. Even like at least A9S. Everyone can learn A9S. It's not that bad. If you can do A9 normal, it's not a big step up to A9S. Like, obviously, you got to be more on point, and you got to have people who know what they're doing, but it's not crazy hard. It's perfectly learnable in a day.
But see, Null Packet says the point of raiding in coils was the only way to get the story. Yes, that's true. But the thing is, they put in easy mode because the people literally said, I can't raid, it's too hard, or I don't have time, so give me normal mode so I can have a story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see,
and so, but then now we have
idiots.
the story, and they're like, okay, but now why do I want to raid?
Right.
Because there's no story. I'm like, well, that was what you fucking asked for. So if you asked for a normal mode so that you got the story, then don't care about not having highest eye level, because that was what you asked for.
Yeah, and hopefully they've talked about with what we'll see in Stormblood, they've talked about maybe having, 2 floors be hard and 2 floors be super hard, and kind of doing it that way.
See,
There's so many.
But they also
That's
said having a story be canon and then having a what if story. I don't.
I
mean, that's a
love that
fun
idea.
It's a fun idea, but like, but then again, there's going to be people that say, why should I do the Savage mode content if it's just a what if story and it's not canon? I don't care.
Sure. Okay.
Like,
Here's why
I
you
would
do it.
rather have the what if scenario be the normal mode and the real canon be the
No. Here's what you do. You have the real canon is the story mode, and that's fine. However, they also were asked a question at some point about like, what if like my job affected what I could do in cutscenes or something like that, or my role. What if in the Savage versions, not only does your job affect what you do, but you're a badass in the what if versions? Like you're freaking.
Why can't I be what if in the? Why can't I be badass in the canon?
Well, you're always like you're the warrior of light. You're great and all, but no, like in Savage mode, you're like Arnold Schwarzenegger going around just like taking people out. It's
But see,
awesome.
the thing is they're not going to justify that because if it's 5% doing the hard mode content, they're not going to spend all that extra time and resources on special, really intense graphical cutscenes.
Yeah, but I want to be awesome.
Because didn't they say that they spent so much time and effort and resources into the Coil cutscenes when only 10% of the rating of the community even saw it?
They did indeed.
And Yoshi was like bitched at for that.
Yeah.
So
but
and then what they gave us was Alex, where like all the cutscenes and the story was really.
But to be fair, at the time, only 10% of people saw the cutscenes. How many people have seen them now? I mean, it's not like the content's inaccessible.
I know, but people complain about it being relevant at the time, which again doesn't matter. Like when our levels goes up to 70 and we're gonna be able to smash through all of this content. What is it? I mean, if you don't care that much about the actual rating, just wait until it's irrelevant and you'll be fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're casual enough anyway, so what does it matter?
That's what they need to do, is not listen to the fucking people who whine about literally everything in the world and just stick to their guns. Be like, if you want the story and you want it not on YouTube, wait a year when your eye level just demolishes it, and then you'll be fine.
Yep. All right. So a while back, over the summer, we did a bit here on the show. And it was a bit that was concocted out of nothing more than, hey, we probably need to fill like 30 minutes on this week's episode. There's not a ton to talk about. That's pretty much where this bit came from.
Speaking of filling time, we also have a person who wants to call in. We have Zero Ashinari of Midgard Somer who wants to talk about deep dungeon structure.
All right.
Zero?
Hey guys, how's it going on?
Good. How are you?
Well, doing pretty well. I've got a nice little book here to read for a while, but I'm calling about the deep dungeon.
Oh, wait, can you actually, real quick, is there anything in there on the Halloween event?
No.
Okay.
The book covers from the storyline perspective. It covers from the storyline perspective all the way up until your confrontation to Nidhogg. So anything that comes after that, like Sophia, is mentioned, but you don't see a graphic of her. Slight spoiler, but it does tell you about some of the lore in here.
Okay.
So, the reason I wanted to call, I apologize because the heater's now kicked on. If you're picking that up.
No, you're fine.
No, you're fine.
Sweet. With one of the live letters that Square Enix did, they showed a couple of images where it would show progress where people had gotten the farthest with certain classes. I don't know if that was from the solo aspect, but I'm assuming past floors 100 and so on, there's gonna be not team registration, but you'll see certain people, like your top players on your individual servers that you know by name. There's a couple of them on the Midgar Somer that I'm very much aware of. I see those names up top. I'm gonna go, okay, that makes sense. The structure that I'm seeing with where the progress of how deeply people will go in the deep dungeon reminds me of some of the mobile games when they have like Tower of Heavens or something like that.
Okay. So you think it's going to... Now, do you think this is going to be a positive or a negative?
I believe it's going to encourage people to race upon their servers. I don't think the world first aspect is going to be as strong as getting server first. If in some of the mobile games, if you cleared a certain level of the floor, say floor 110, your name would be cemented in legacy on that server as this person cleared floor 110 before everybody else. Square Enix hasn't confirmed this, but I would like to see that because it gives people that drive to go, okay, if I can get up to floor 200 before everybody else, while I'm on the server of Sargentanus, Eskalia Riamasa shall ever be known as the one that got to floor 200.
Okay.
For example.
Well, I like the sound of that.
idea a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good incentive for people to do it. But I wish they would do it, but I just don't think they're going to.
I like the idea of me hitting floor 200 before anyone also. I think that's a great idea. I think that's exactly what it should be.
I think that's also a fairy tale that we probably don't need to dwell too much time on. But I really like the idea of having like your name carved into stone somewhere in the world that will always be known as the person who got this first. But I don't think they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And sorry, go.
No, I can't see like Square Enix doing something like that. Now there are MMOs where I would absolutely believe we would see something like that. EVE Online is notorious for doing things like that, for having things in their world that reflect like great deeds by players or by corporations or things like that. I could absolutely see them doing it. SE, they're so like, I don't want to say litigious, but very like cut and dry about everything. I'm not sure I could see them doing that. It'd be sweet, like if you like, it would be a humongous carrot on the stick to try to race to be one of the first to clear floor 200 so that you get your name like forever memorialized in Eorzea. Like everyone would do that, I think.
And if they would just start it with something like Deep Dungeon, with is a smaller content, it's a 4-man content, they could extrapolate that to the raids, because then you would know who cleared those raids first, say for 4.0, because we're getting rid of PS3 support, and for the one thing that I've harped on that my FC very much knows is PS3 support has held back the game. We're going to be getting rid of that. We should see a huge improvement on gameplay function, UI support, obviously the inventory space, because that's still related to the limitations of the one old generation system.
Man, it's going to be so great when we don't have to make that joke anymore. I mean,
PS4 limitations.
Yeah, I know. What was it? 2 hours after the announcement that PS3 support was being dropped, we already had our first joke about that.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so I love the idea of them changing the world to reflect great deeds done by their players. I think if that's something they wanted to go with, then the player base would respond very positively to it. It's just, I've never thought of SE as a group to do something like that, but I don't know. Juxta, what do you think? Maybe?
I feel like I think that Final Fantasy XIV, the community would have a positive reaction to having that little epitaph or the stone, like the written in stone. I think that overall they would have a pretty good time with that.
I think they should start naming areas after famous podcasters in their game. I think they should look at that as an idea.
Well, I heard a rumor. I mean, I can't confirm or deny, but the Red Mage trainer is actually going to be a Mikote who has black fur with red highlights. So, I mean, please look forward to it.
Oh, how I like that. There we go. We're getting closer. And in World of Final Fantasy, they named a Nutkin after me, so that's nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his name's like Eskalia or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. I told Aya and Akmorn, they don't, SE doesn't have to hide it. They can just use my name. They don't have to try and keep it a secret. It's whatever.
I won't sue you, I promise.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sue. I think that'd be sweet. You can name a Nutkin after me. That'd be great. All right. Well, thank you so much for the call. Do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Not so much of a shout out. It's just I have a question towards you, Eskalia.
Okay.
And this is going to be me picking on you a little bit.
Great.
I've noticed it.
You don't need to preface that.
I noticed it's Halloween. Are your parents alone again, or is there going to be another Eskalia Jr. in the family?
Oh, God. Thank you for that lovely reminder. Yeah, for those who don't know, July birthday right here. But no, my parents are both in their late 60s, so I'm hoping not.
Wow.
All
right, drop this call. Get him out of here.
His birthdays are right next to each other, aren't they? 1 day apart.
Yes, our birthdays are 1 day apart. Oh, yeah, so you got to watch out for your parents, too.
Yeah, well, my parents aren't together anymore.
Oh, well, then maybe not so much.
Well, They're both dating someone.
Ugh. All right. Anyway,
Yeah,
like
let's move
I know.
on.
I
from
didn't.
that
I
note.
didn't. I didn't.
before I threw up, I was talking about a bit that we did last summer, and it wasn't really ever supposed to be anything big, but it ended up being one of our most requested bits to return to the show. And
bit
We're
where Nika
doing it with the
storms
three
off.
of us. Oh God.
and
stop.
we're doing it where
And,
Nika
and
just
Nika
leaves.
doesn't talk again for the rest of the episode.
That was more
You
than
would
last
love that. You would
summer.
love
bit.
that, wouldn't you?
That was like last winter. That was almost a year ago.
That was last week.
What?
Nika storms off on every episode.
Let's
yeah.
make that a thing.
This is
I
a
just
bit that
leave.
we've had requested to bring back for a long time, and we'd like to welcome back Racist Roulette. It's one of our dun dun dun. It's one of our favorite little fun things to do. Although we're mixing it up a little bit this time. Instead of doing the Eorzean races, it's time for job Racist Roulette.
Oh yeah,
The
jobbist.
jobist.
roulette.
Yeah.
The Jobbist Roulette. So, as with last time, we have prepared the spinner wheel. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm going to try
Can
and
we
get
have a better name for that? The spinner wheel?
All right, what do you want to call it?
I don't know.
It
How about the
needs
Wheel of Intolerance?
Okay, that's a little bit
Yeah.
better. That's a good one, Papa. Thank you for that.
You're a
Wheel of
monster.
Intolerance.
All right. I got to rework this thing. Talk for a sec. I got to rework this so we can actually watch it.
All right, so obviously we're going to be
We have
start
a failure
taking fan suggestions on stereotypes that we can apply to jobs. We have a list of I don't know, like 13, 15 or so, but we want to get your ideas in the chat. Kooky will be the wonderful producer that she is, and she'll be writing them down for everyone to hear, and she will be throwing them out to us as she comes across the good ones. So everyone just throw out some good ideas.
So if yours isn't picked, blame Kooky for not thinking it's good.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
That's what
exactly.
That's what he just said.
It's all actually no, it's Skrull's fault for Kooky not thinking it was a good idea. So blame Skrull.
Yeah, blame Skrull. Always. So we've got the job wheel with the 13 jobs of Eorzea on here. We do not have
Hold on,
any
wait, shouldn't we have Red Mage on there now?
because Red Mage has
Well,
been confirmed.
No, but it has been confirmed by Yoshi P's T-shirt, and we know that it's making predictions of the future of what Red Mage will be to come. Maybe we should have included Red Mage.
You
And
know
then
what?
if it gets the LOL something or other job, then we know how LOL Red Mage will be.
Okay.
And
You know
this
what?
puts Eskalia on the spot for having to do more work on the spot. So I think I'm all for this. What do you think? What do you think, Eskalia?
All set.
Did you
Oh.
add Red Mage on there?
Yep, sure did.
Oh,
Cool.
well,
All right, guys. Then you heard it here. We will officially know what Red Mage role it will play after this roulette wheel.
All right, so let's get this started off. I thought a very fitting spot to start would be what's the LOL job? Like for years things got called LOL Dragoon, but that's not official. It's not official until the wheel
Next
says
came
it.
over from 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We
So-
haven't actually had a real LOL job in 14.
exactly. So I think it's time once and for all that we decide what the LOL job is of this game. And
Alright,
here,
so spin that wheel.
spin the wheel.
So I drum roll.
The LOL job of FF14 is Paladin.
Paladin. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually.
It's Paladin.
No, I was. You know how funny it would have been if Dragoon came up again. God,
You know what?
that
It was
would've
only
been too
two.
perfect.
It was only 2 clicks away, and I was getting nervous. So the LOL job here, henceforth in Eorzea, is Paladin.
No, as if I need more reason for people to make fun of me.
Well, I mean, if you could do damage, it'd be fine. But I mean,
I can
LOL
do
Paladin.
decent damage. I keep
Nika,
up.
come on. Nika.
When myself and the Dark Knight are both tanking, I keep up. Okay?
I don't know. Nika says she wants to.
keep up.
Nika says she wants to main tank, and everyone laughs out loud. It could fit.
I am the main tank. I am the only. I'm the best.
Razor says,
Aw.
"I just got Paladin. I'm changing my job."
I'm so sorry that your rage has to put up with paladins, Nika.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
That's unfortunate. All right, Juxta, why don't you go and tell us what our next one's going to be?
All right, let's just go down the list. We're going to have the floor tank, which which job actually just tanks the floor all the time because
Scorpio
they're
suggested
dead?
that at the same time. That's funny.
Scorpio, you need to stop copying me from the future. I know you're Alexander space-time ways, but no, we need to know what job is always dead on the floor and not doing anything.
Okay, all right. Let's find out what is the true floor tank.
Does it have like clicking noises?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, I don't know because I can't hear it.
Okay.
Warrior.
Does it sound like
Warrior.
Vegas? Warrior.
Warrior is the true floor tank of FF14. Let it be known. Man, this is great. Dragoon's getting vindicated of everything today. I'm gonna.
Well, it makes sense too. I mean, if you have a paladin main tank and they can't do their job, so that just means the warrior's gonna go down
No,
eventually.
the paladin has to step in because the warrior's already on the floor.
And then the whole rest of the raid just face palms because
Yep.
LOL paladin.
Oh yeah, and that's when the wipe happens. It makes so much sense now. All right, Nika.
All right.
What are we gonna?
We
What are
need
we?
to figure out which job is the true loot whore. Which job, no matter what drops in a dungeon, they hit greed on it, even if they can't even use it because they don't have that job level. Who
they're
is
the,
the
they're the
loot whore?
same ones who complain when someone else slots greed. Okay, yeah. All right. Oh, great wheel. What did we decide to call it?
Wheel of Intolerance.
The wheel of great wheel of intolerance. Who is the true loot whore?
Wheel of Intolerance on the wall. Who's the biggest loot whore of all?
Warrior.
Warrior.
Man, this favors the tanks.
Yeah, this thing loves tanks.
Okay, so the warrior spends the whole fight on the floor just dying.
Oh.
And then loots the gear.
Oh
and
no.
then they get the fucking bird at the end of it.
Oh, they're the worst.
God.
Oh no.
They might be old
You
dragoon.
know, that would have been so much more appropriate if it was Dark Knight from my my tank statics perspective.
Oh god.
Lol.
This is so. I don't know. I think I'm starting to agree with a lot of these. Actually, I know a couple warriors who've been known to just die and then take all the gear.
All of these warriors are just old dragoons that got sick of getting picked on for being dragoons and just switched over to warriors.
They job changed. That's right. That makes so much sense.
All right. All right, Wheel. Which job is the one that kept dying and then transferred over to warrior? This is being ad-libbed on here.
Okay.
Wait, the job that
Scholars.
changed to work?
It was scholars who did that. Oh, don't try and
What did
don't.
they do? They died and then changed to warrior?
They got picked on for dying a lot, so then they switched over to warrior. Apparently.
And continued to die.
Anyway, Juxta, you want to tell us our next one?
Okay, so you'll all know those kinds of people who just are always talking and like know every mechanic and you shouldn't use this cooldown at this time because 30 seconds later we're gonna have a damage up increase. These are the rules Nazis, okay?
Okay,
And so we need to find out which job is just constantly nagging everyone about everything.
All right, who's the raid nag and who's the one who's always like, no, our free company charter says, okay. All right, I got you. All right, let's see. Who is let's see. All right. Wheel of Intolerance, turn. Tell us the job that we should burn.
Bird.
Nice.
It's an Animaniacs joke. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. No! It's
Who is it?
Dragoon. It's the Dragoons.
Fucking dragoons.
Oh, it's one tick off Astrologian. It's right on the line.
Right on the edge. I see that.
Oh no. Yeah, it's the Dragoons. Of course. Yeah, we're the rules Nazis. You know what? We are busy dead on the ground a lot. It's very easy for us to call shots.
But apparently not more than warriors.
Not more than
Not
warriors.
anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Warriors call most of the shots. They're the ones who are usually dead. But we can backup call mechanics out. That's fine. All right, Nika, what do you got?
Which job just decides that, I just don't really care that much about this. I am the laziest job. I'm gonna just stand there and auto attack. I'm not gonna dodge out of the A. I just don't care. I'm here. It's my $12.99. Can't tell me what to do.
Make the healers do their job.
I'm gonna be carried through every dungeon, every raid, because you should do that for me because I pay $12.99.
Okay, you're asking
Who's the laziest
who's the
job?
lazy bitch of this? Okay, I've played with Callow and Aniero. This has to be either Ninja or Dark Knight. Like, there's no way.
I mean, hitting cooldowns can be kind of hard and time consuming, so I don't bother to do that anymore.
Okay.
So.
All right, Wheel. Tell us who is the laziest job.
Give us the laziest job, Will.
Dark Knight.
Dark Knights.
It's
Don't
Dark
even bother
Knight.
putting up grits.
Nope, they don't bother.
Don't
putting up
use
grit.
dark arts. Just auto attacking. Come on, Dark Knights.
Phoenix said healers that don't DPS. Oh.
Okay, it is official. The Dark Knight is the laziest job in the game. That is, I think the Wheel's pretty spot on with that one. It's either that or Ninja, but like.
Thanks a lot, Aniero. No wonder we always die in those stream parties.
All right, this next one could be either could be Ninja. I gotta think it's Ninja. It's, you know, when you're dealing with them, they're pissy, they're annoying, they're entitled. I want to know, when a 12-year-old picks up FF14, what job do they play?
Oh, I can think of a number right off the top of my head, but we gotta deal with what the wheel says.
What does the wheel say? Yeah. So, oh, great wheel of intolerance. Who's the 12-year-old? What job does the 12-year-old play?
Man, I was waiting for a rhyme to intolerance. You failed.
Intolerance.
Oh, jeez.
What's our belligerence?
5 and 6 pence.
Scholar.
Scholar.
And
Poor
that's why they don't
Scholar.
DPS.
Yeah.
Scholars that don't DPS, those are the 12-year-olds.
Oh God, you're right. Oh no, yeah. I was gonna guess Ninja. I thought all the Naruto fans would pick Ninja, but no. Apparently, when a 12-year-old gets in the game, they think, I want to be a book learning job.
They want to be a
don't
scholar.
have their fairy
They
out.
want to be a healer, but they don't want to DPS. They pick the best healer to DPS with, and they don't do it.
All right, let's take one.
And they want to just have their fairy out, just look at it, be all creepy with it. Come on, scholars, just stop.
Yeah, come on. How about we take one from our audience? Kooky, do you have a good one from the audience?
I've been writing it on the outline. I have.
I'm on the page above
Okay,
you, so.
I got you, Kooky. We got one from Scorpio 1401, and their suggestion is Leroy Jenkins, who is the job that is
So just
most
runs in and base pulls.
Run in, pull all the whelps, hatch all the eggs, mess up all the mechanics because they're just blindly charging in. Who do we
Hatch
got?
all the eggs?
You know what? I didn't put Skrull on this wheel, but I should have. All right. All right.
Skrull's just his own job category.
Oh, mighty wheel of intolerance. Who is the most likely to Leroy Jenkins?
You got chicken.
Uh-oh. Paladin.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense because the tanks are supposed to run in and pull.
Well,
Yeah,
I think that
except
makes
you're supposed
perfect
to have
sense.
your party behind you. If you don't have a healer or even your DPS behind you, you just run in and just try tanking everything. You know what?
You know what?
I love how half the
Hell of a
chat
little
was saying monk. I think they've had personal experience.
You know what this is? This is not rating Leroy Jenkins. This was dungeon Leroy Jenkins. This was, I'm pulling until I hit a wall, and they don't even realize that the healer has gone AFK.
Okay.
That's what this
if
is.
you say it that way, that's fair because Paladin doesn't realize the healer can't keep up and pulls everything. And,
and we're being informed that Leroy Jenkins actually was a paladin. So,
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Okay.
so that's fair enough. All right. Nika, you got one?
Yes. Which job is so full of themselves? They're always changing their glamour, looking in the mirror, getting everyone to see how beautiful they look in their new outfit. Who is the narcissist?
Okay, this is going to be Red Mage. It's like this.
It better be.
Like, Red Mages will do this.
Well, I don't know. It's you might be surprised.
No, it's going to be Red
Making
Mage.
sure everyone knows their new glamour.
All right, Wheel of Intolerance. Tell us who is the most narcissistic job in the game. Oh my God, Paladin again? What is this wheel doing?
Paladin off the wheel because it's broken.
Paladin is all over the place.
There's no
You know
way
what,
this
that-
one is Paladin.
Paladin
That makes.
is the
I can see that because I mean, Nika very narcissistic, plays Paladin.
I change my glamour like once or twice a year. Like I don't actually care about glamour at all, and I don't care about people looking at me. I don't look at myself. I don't care.
You look at yourself all the time with your horrible, ugly man glamours that are in like bikinis and stuff.
And Nika has to do her makeup before every stream.
Right now, I'm on Monk. By the way.
I think Paladin is definitely the Eorzea of this go around, because didn't we have like 4 get assigned to a single Eorzea type last time? Yeah, I think Paladin.
You know what? Also, Paladins always have to keep their armor shiny and clean and stuff. That makes a lot of sense.
No, that's called hygiene, Juxta. You need to take a bath.
I don't think I really need to.
We beg to differ. We have to sit with you. All right. Juxta, go ahead and give us one.
All right, let's take another one from the chat.
Sure.
We're gonna go with VV239. Who is the biggest troll job?
That better be Ninja.
This.
I mean,
you
with
can
this
troll.
shit, no, yeah, you could totally troll the easiest Ninja out of all the jobs.
I mean, just something that Juxta
Easiest.
plays.
Easiest, sure, but I mean, we need to dig deeper. We need to bask in the knowledge of the wheel.
Well, I mean, trolling is an art form, so let's see what the wheel has to say about it. Oh, great wheel of intolerance. Who is the biggest troll job in FF14? Bard.
Bard
Okay. Is the ultimate troll job of FF14.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you can as Bard. Whenever I would play Bard, I would just like DPS the mob, get aggro on it, and then I would just run around the room so you can't get it back.
And then if Aniero was here, he'd probably tell us a story about the Bard that was pulling hate off him the one time. He was real mad about it.
Yeah, at Shiva, and it was his fault. So yeah.
And the chat is pointing out, Juxta, your first job was Bard.
Paladin.
Oh, it was Paladin.
actually.
Okay.
But then I switched to Bard because they were OP and they didn't get nerfed. So then I went to Bard.
Fair enough. All right. I want to know. There's a lot of cool glamour in this game, and I want to know who has the worst of it. I want to know who this game's worst dressed job is. Who is just hideous all the time?
They're in Eorzea's People magazine as worst dressed.
Exactly. Yeah, they got a bunch of people who are on the red carpet with lisps, all talking about how they looked awful. All right, Wheel of Intolerance. Who is Eorzea's worst dressed? Summoner.
Well, that giant ass horn, such an eyesore.
So, that is so last season. That is so last MMO.
And they're always wearing wings like they're some kind of like fake dragon. Like, come on, you're not at a furry convention.
No,
you're not with Eskalia right now. You don't need to do that.
Am I still under furry suspicion? Have I not been alleviated of that?
No. Don't worry. You're not under first suspicion.
Oh, that's
you're
good.
a furry confirmed.
Oh, that's not better. That's worse. Hey.
No.
Oh, all right. Kooky, do you have one for us, or who has one? Who wants to go?
I'll take one.
All right.
Okay, I am going to, because I just saw this really funny one from the chat. I'm going to go with this one. From Razor XX235. Which job always leaves after the first wipe?
Oh, God.
Goes into the party finder, one wipe, GTFO.
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah. Because I hate people who do that. It's like anyone... What, you don't hate people who do that?
No, that's fair. I mean, everyone should know their job. You just get in there, get the job done.
I'm going to say, though,
and
from
then run out.
experience, I feel like it's usually the tanks that do this.
Oh, it's definitely the tanks, because they are the ones
Tanks
who
are
can
healers.
They can just re-queue quick. It's never a DPS. No, Tika Pelli says it's a DPS. It's no. We have to wait forever in those.
Yeah, DPS don't like to queue again. It's the worst when I'm like, I actually decide to go as Monk. I finally get in and people leave, and I'm like, what the fuck? I have to go queue for 45 minutes again? Fuck.
Yep, it sucks. All right. Who is the most likely to bail after one wipe?
Teddy says tanks leave before the first pull.
Dragoon.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, maybe we're like most likely to disconnect or something like that. I don't feel like we dodge out, or maybe it's my fellow Dragoon.
You know, it's probably like because you're always the first one to die, then you blame the healers and you leave.
Yeah, and because you guys are so focused on the rules and the mechanics and stuff that if people aren't paying attention, you just drop out instantly. That makes sense.
Oh God, you know what? I would stand here and defend my people and argue it, but I'll be honest with you. I've had some runs recently where I'm just like, I'm not dealing with this shit. How it is 4 weeks after this dropped. How are people wiping on A11 normal still? Like, sorry, it does get to me sometimes. I don't know. Maybe. I still think it'd be a tank, but the wheel hath spoken, and I shall respect its decision. But I want to know. Oh, you got one?
I got one, and we need to know that job that's always in the FC company house, just staring at the scantily clad maids.
Oh no.
We need to know who's the ERP creeper.
Oh no. Yeah, who's how come every time I log in you're always in your private room? How come that? Why is the door locked? Yeah, okay. All right. Oh, Wheel of Intolerance. What job is the ERP creeper? Oh no. Ah, Christ. No.
Is it Dragoon?
Yeah. No. It's Dragoon.
You know, yeah, okay, yeah. It's because you could tell they have that freaking long ass shaft that they're always thrusting around,
pole dancing
jumping
on it.
bones and shit. Man, oh god, it's.
I mean, they do have a move that is a literal pole dance.
Yeah, we
I mean,
do.
come on.
You know what? I didn't consider that. We are the pole dancers. You know what? I'm switching to Monk for Stormblood.
No, they're always on the floor.
Welcome to the brood.
They are always on the floor. Yeah. Okay. What can I
That's
say?
why they die, so they have an excuse to look up all the skirts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why we're always on the floor. Oh God.
They have that fursona going. It's just gross.
Oh, the chat's digging this. This is heavy thrust. Do you need it? Yeah. It's not as good as pentathrust. Pentathrust was always the best for that. All right.
Just 5 and you're done, huh?
5 and you're done. All right. I want to know who is the 40-year-old virgin.
Which job repels the opposite sex?
Which
Repels women.
Which job?
Almost as good as Skuro.
Exactly. Like every girl who plays 14 says, "I'm open to dating people, but not blank."
It could also be a girl plays this job and repels men. Come on now, don't be sexist.
Okay, that's fair enough. What?
Which one repels the opposite sex?
So yeah, what?
Or the same sex, Nika.
Okay, repels the love interests.
Okay.
Repels people.
We're gonna be very
Which one
LGBT
prevents
friendly.
you from getting laid?
Yeah, exactly. Which one is going home alone at the end of the night? That's what's important. Predictions. Any thoughts?
Probably Scholar or Summoners.
You think so?
Man.
Well, they always have those pets creeping around. I wouldn't want to be seen being watched by your pets.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta desummon your pet. No, bro, he gets in on it.
I'm going with Dark Knight.
Oh!
Unless you're into that.
Dark Knight is also pretty intimidating. I'm not sure I would approach a Dark Knight.
See, Machinist knows how to use tools. I feel like people would be into that.
Yeah, especially in the job quest for machinists, they're good at their hands.
Yeah,
at creating
I'm going with Dark Knight, but let's see. Oh, Great
Or
Wheel.
Dragoon, because of being the ERP creeper.
Maybe, but like especially for guys, we know how to work a pole. Just saying. All right. Oh, Great Wheel of Intolerance. What job's going home alone at the end of the night? Who's the 40-year-old virgin? Monk.
What?
It's Monk. Well,
No way.
I can see that. You're afraid, maybe they're a little bit abusive or something like that. They got their hands and stuff like that. I don't know.
But monks only use their hands. They know how to use their hands.
Except, see, that's the problem. They're like they just punch and like work out so often that's come on. Nobody wants to like go home with that. It's like you're rock hard. You're not gonna see any action with that.
We don't have to
Some
look.
people just don't want a fisting.
And maybe no one can match the beauty of their own hands. Maybe that's really the problem. They're a 40-year-old virgin, not because they can't get laid, but they choose not to.
And you know what? They're probably pretty stinky too.
They're
probably
not.
a lot of the time.
I think they're not masters of their own domain. All right, Nika, give us one.
All right, I would like to know which job spreads the most rumors about other jobs. Who is the biggest gossip girl? Who has to know? Who's in on all the drama all the time?
Okay, who's causing the FC drama?
All
right.
Did you see what our ERP creeper did to the narcissist that other day?
Not good. Yeah, all right. Wheel of Intolerance. Who is the gossip? Machinist. Machinist is the gossip.
Well, they're in the back, so they can see everything that's going on, and then they have to start shit, you know?
Yeah, they have a good view of everything. Probably got, they're putting cameras up in the bathrooms and stuff like that. I can see that.
I mean, they don't do nothing. Just ask Skuro. You don't do shit, so.
Machinist the gossip. All right, I like that. Let's take one from the chat. Let's see. Who whines that you don't know the mechanics? So a little bit different than the rules Nazi. This is just the person who's immediately like, oh my god, you didn't even watch the video?
Check the happy video. God.
Yeah. Ms. Tech is there for a reason.
It's only 30 minutes long.
All right. Wheel of Intolerance. Who's the one complaining about your lack of mechanics? It's got to be a healer. Oh, no, it's Warrior.
Warrior?
Well, a tank I can see doing it, too. But I would have thought a healer.
You know what? No, okay. Warrior's complaining because he's the one complaining in the chat that you don't know mechanics, and then he gets hit by the AoE, and then he falls down and gets the pony.
We should have just done most likely to type while should be dodging. I hate those people.
Well, that fits Warrior to a T, though.
I know. That might be Warrior.
Or what about most likely to be reading their Twitch chat instead of paying attention to their raid? Sorry, that was I'm calling out Cookie.
Yeah,
I know.
Cookie did that last night.
I'm just playing.
But it did happen.
It did. I'm just playing.
Cookie does play a warrior.
Well, she was playing healer at that time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a white mage.
I knew it, Cookie.
So Miri Kennett asks, who's the biggest diva?
Everyone
more
knows.
so than the narcissist, right? This is the one.
Narcissists just think they're the greatest. Divas are drama queens. Like you are, it's
always got to be the center of attention.
I have to be the center of attention, and if I'm not, then this isn't even worth doing. Like it's like
this needs to be red mage.
Ninja.
Oh God, it has to be red mage.
Just with how much the people who want red mage have been bitching for it. They have to be the center of everything.
Yeah. All right. A Wheel of Intolerance. Please tell us, who is Eorzea's biggest diva? Oh, it could be Black Mage too with their fucking circle.
It could be.
Oh, that fucking.
Or it could be monks too with their stacks.
White Mage.
No.
Yeah.
White Mage. Yes. Yes, they are.
Okay, we are.
Stop standing in the thing. I can't do my arrow 3 damage. It's so important. Get stacked together for cure 3. I'm not gonna waste my mana on Medica 2. Okay. Stacking for cure 3. Stack for cure. I'm not gonna ass-size you. Just get out of my AoE. Get out of my ass-size.
You don't need an Asuna, for Christ's sake.
Just use your second wind. You'll heal off all the poison damage. I'm not wasting MP on Asuna of all things. Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Just don't get hit by mechanics, and I won't have to Asuna you.
God, this is so many like raid groups that I've heard. This is so many Sophia EX runs.
Don't pull until I have stone skin on every single person. Thank you. And I'm not sassing stone skin.
They want
too.
to say, "Oh, you got a drop I wanted. I'm not going to heal you anymore." Too bad. So sad.
Listen, I look amazing in cleric stance, and that's what I'm staying in. You should tank better.
I look amazing.
Oh God! All right.
That red icon is my favorite color. I have to have it up all the time.
All right. I think we're gonna take one more, and I think it's a good one. I think.
I think I know what you're gonna pick. Where it comes from, Ryoku, and who is the limit break stealer?
What? Oh, like who uses it first?
Yeah.
Who is the one
who's watching that bar when it hits 2 bars? Bam! Limit break. It doesn't matter if the boss is immune. If you're a healer, you gotta use that big ass move and make them shine.
They stopped DPSing 12 seconds ago, so they could make sure to hit the limit break as soon as it was up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Who is the limit break thief? Scholar?
Scholar,
what are you doing? We don't even need your level 2 limit break. It doesn't even make sense.
But then they can keep DPSing. So that'll heal for them, and they can keep their DPS up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get us all back up to full with my Scholar 2 limit break, and then I can go back to deep sing.
There was another one I really wanted to know.
Oh yeah, what's that?
When you're walking through Idleshire and you catch a bit of a conversation you didn't really want to hear, and you see 2 jobs ERPing and safe.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
For this one.
I want to know which 2 jobs are most likely to be hanging around Idleshire, ERPing right and safe, plain view for everyone else to see.
You know what? I think in interest of the show, we have to extend the bit for this one. Absolutely. So we're gonna
I really want to know.
We're gonna spin the wheel twice to find out who the 2 jobs most likely to be ERPing and say are. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the first one.
Who are the star-crossed lovers?
Yes. All right. Wheel of Intolerance. What jobs are most likely to be ERPing and say? All right. The first job is Paladin. Paladin is very likely. You know what? I can see that. Kind of got that that kinky like I'm so pure, but now I'm being dejected and degraded in public.
I'm really naughty underneath.
Yeah, okay.
You must
a
turn
paladin
me
in the streets.
Turn me right
warrior
now.
in the sheets.
Juxta, I'm going to go ahead and need you to isolate Nika saying I'm really naughty underneath so we can have that as a drop.
Oh my god, no!
I'm going to need that immediately. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
All right, and Wheel of Intolerance, who is our second job? Who's getting it on with that paladin?
I hope it's Monk. That would be hilarious.
Will hallowed ground you.
Ninja.
Ninja.
Ninja's getting it on with the paladins.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because we try to turn the paladins from their righteous cause into the shadowy.
Ninja's kind of the
roguish.
The ones that are kind of had to sneak around for a while.
Rough and tumble.
You do it from behind.
Pull the paladin into their dirty ways.
Oh, okay.
Sneak attack, trick attack the paladin, doing it from behind.
Yeah,
old school.
There we go. Oh, Nutter's gonna nut. All right.
No.
On the note of weird Limit Break Radio pairings, I do want to go ahead and once again acknowledge that we received a very, very lovely fan fiction between 2 of the members of this fine program. And we will be reading it live on the air next week.
No, womp.
Now I know everyone wants it, but we can't do it when Aniero's not here. Like he told us to, but we can't. We have to do it when he's here. He cannot miss this.
And we're not going to tell you who's involved either. You're going to have to wait and find out, but please look forward.
Please look forward to it. It's going to be great, and we will have a dramatic reading of this lovely, lovely fan fiction next week. And if you have fan fiction about Limit Break Radio, you can send it in. I don't know why you would, but you can.
But you don't really have to.
I'd rather see the fan art. I'm okay with the fan art. Fan fiction.
Nika wants erotic fan art.
No, I did not say that E word.
All fan art is valid.
Just like jokes.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to invalidate your art or your reason for making it. However, I don't necessarily need to see it. That's all.
Everybody needs to see it.
Alrighty, and that's going to bring us to the end of Racist Roulette 2. Look forward to it, probably returning eventually at some point. It's always a fun little bit for us to do. But speaking of bits, we have one more that we wanted to get out today. It's one that we've been working on for like 4 whole days.
That's being kind of generous.
A little bit. Well, we came up with the idea for it on like Tuesday, right? I don't know. It's something that we've been wanting to do, though. We wanted to bring it to you today while Aniero's not here to tell us that we can't. So
yeah,
basically,
so that way,
when he has no say,
yeah,
we get all these things out that we have in our brains.
Right.
Not that you necessarily need to hear them.
That's correct.
And
they are.
But you see, now that you've heard it, you're gonna want more of it, and he can't say no to the fans.
No.
That's correct.
We love our fans.
So, Juxta, you
Yes.
are our resident astrologian.
Yes, I do have astrologian leveled.
Yes. So
I have it level 2. That doesn't make me.
We wanted to.
You have to be physically fit to be an astrologian. I'm sorry.
I am so physically fit. Have you seen my abs?
You're kind of. I didn't want to say anything on the show, but Nika, you're kind of porking up a little bit. I'm not gonna. This is.
I mean,
just maybe.
No, look at me. Look at me. I am right here in the center of the table. Check out these abs.
Maybe just go easy on the cheesecake. That's all I'm saying.
The Rolling
Instead of that 6 slice, maybe only do 4.
Look at those abs. Look at those abs.
She's trying to get her badonkadonk back. It's just not going to the
true.
right place.
The butt slider needs to come back.
So, as our resident astrologian and future seer, we thought, you should use your star divining abilities and maybe get us some horoscopes for our Eorzean fans.
Well, sure. I can definitely do that.
Those of you we want to assure everyone that these are all grounded deep in fact. Every one of these is 100% guaranteed to come true.
The astrologians have really divined into the stars and pulled these out of their deepest regions of space-time.
Juxta certainly pulled it out of somewhere. That's for sure.
We recruited only the best astrologians to come up with these.
Absolutely. So we have your horoscopes for today based on which of the 12 you follow.
Yes.
To
kick us off, we have
actually to kick us off. What I want to ask is, do you guys know what one yours is, so we can
yes,
we can know this?
I am Nafika, the matron.
Mine is Birago, the builder. Do you know yours, Juxta?
I am Nalthad, the trader.
All right, let's see.
All right. Starting off with Hallone the Fury. That big promotion to officer you've had your eye on is going to be decided this week. So Tuesday will be your last chance to kill the cute Ellison and assume her identity. So
oh God.
If you want to get in there, if you want that promotion, it's going to her. You've got one chance to wear her skin. It's Tuesday. It's your last day. Get on it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's rough. Jux, do you want to take the next one?
All right, we got Menfina, the lover. Keep your link pearls handy today, as you will have to ask a friend you can crash on their couch during your free company's annual BDSM bash.
Oh, no. Oh, I hate when the BDSM bash happens every year.
Yeah, it's, you can't miss it, though. That's for damn sure.
Well, you should have those link pearls handy. You're going to need somewhere to stay this week. You don't want to get caught up in that. You know how it's going to happen. Someone's going to get hurt. Just make sure that you have your link pearls handy. Nika.
All right, Thaliak the Scholar. All good things come to those who wait. Remember that as the Dragoon, you spent the last 3 months training not to floor tank is scooped up by another raid team.
Oh, that's going to be rough. Yeah. All good things to those who wait, but, if you're, when your Dragoon gets picked up, it's just hard to believe sometimes. Who am I kidding? No one wants a Dragoon in their group. You're happy to be rid of them.
That's not true.
No? Okay.
Yeah, Dragoons are good. Dragoons are one of the top DPS.
All right.
People refuse to acknowledge it.
This goes out to Nymea the Spinner. A severe mistype will reveal your secret foot fetish this week. Next time you ERP, make double sure the Twitter window isn't open. Man, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah. It's just one mistel you don't want it to get out there.
I just think it's weird that every person who is under Nymea has a foot fetish. That's so.
I've got to ask. Eskalia Damos is asking, when is LBR's BDSM bash?
Well, if you follow Menfina, it's this week.
Oh.
So apparently, yeah, have those link pearls handy.
All right, so we got Limian, the Navigator.
Okay.
Be prepared for adventure when your local Aetheryte sends you combating into a vast pioneer land. Your lucky direction is south.
Oh, okay. They're being sent somewhere weird. That's gonna be rough. You got to be careful. Can you teleport back? Do you think, or do you just have to explore?
You have to explore. Maybe meet some princesses and save the wilds. But it's gonna be a long, perilous journey.
Okay. Nika, you have Beergo, so I'm gonna take this one, and then you can do your own.
Okay.
Ashan the Wanderer. Variety is the spice of life. Mix things up by transferring to a JP server and experience a new culture.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. So you heard it, everyone. Ashan, get off my server.
Go back. Go away. We don't want you here.
Yep, that's
We'll
correct.
build a wall and you can't come back.
We don't want your kind around.
Get all those
here.
Ashan believers out of here.
All right. Mine, I am Beergo the Builder. Investments in better home security will result in only losing 2 family members to Garlean raids this week.
Oh, okay.
Only as compared to what? How many did I lose last week?
More than 2,
obviously
apparently.
a lot more.
Yeah.
So,
Man, I gotta double check on all my my sisters out there.
You do, and yeah, get that home security up. It's important.
You're losing
Apparently.
family members like crazy, man.
Who wants to take
All right, so-
Ralgar?
I got Ralgar the Destroyer.
Mm.
It's the season for sandcastles. Expect big opportunities when you venture to the beach this season.
What opportunities?
For big sandcastles.
Oh, of
to
course.
destroy them.
Oh, okay.
Or to destroy them.
You're gonna kick over little children's sandcastles.
And this is a nice beach season with the biggest, awesomest castles.
I think
To destroy.
Have fun.
Man, Eorzea is awesome where you can still go to the beach at Halloween.
Yeah.
It says
Being from Michigan,
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
that's
mean,
like.
It's pretty. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All
There
right.
is some Costa del Sol, man. That's always warm.
This is Azima the Warden. The stars say today is not a good day to shout in Idleshire. Change up your routine by posting ERP requests in Party Finder.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's important. You gotta mix things up. You can't just always be shouting in Idleshire.
You don't want to be the guy that always shouts. You gotta just spread your wings and fly.
Who wants to take
All right.
Nalthal?
I'll take Nalthal because that's mine. That's my deity.
Okay.
Nodthal the Traders. Your Chocobo will realize his dream of finding a better owner this week. Rearranged alternative transportation.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
You know what?
Your reading skills are bothering me. It's telling you to arrange alternate transportation.
That's what I said. Rearrange your alternate transportations.
Alternative.
Oh my God. Yeah. So
Chocobama, why?
let's have
He would
Nalthal.
rather be with. I don't know who's your worst enemy, Juxta. Be aware, they might steal him.
That's me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is Stalker
please.
stealing Chocobama?
I'm not stealing.
not-
He's coming to hang out with me now.
You're not that interesting to be my rival. Come
But
on.
maybe the Chocobo just decided though that his loving and nurturing Care Bear ways are much better than the troll life. He can't.
Oh my
He's
God.
out of that hashtag troll life.
Oh,
That natural curing weight. He's talking about a fur. Ew, gross.
Jesus.
Gross. Chocobama, get out of here.
Jesus. Did you even
Whoa.
try?
That was hard.
All
Oh my
right.
God.
This one is mine, Nafika the Matron. The bit you wrote for your failing podcast will flop hard. Man, I feel bad for whoever that is. No.
Try again.
All
Try
right.
again.
Nafika the Matron. Your loser fantasy team will win a meaningless game against an awful opponent. Draft better next season. Hashtag get good. That's unfortunate. Well, these are very accurate. Juxta, well done, man.
She's not very matronly.
No, she you know what, she tells it like it is.
But didn't your team just win against a
Yeah,
FFXIV?
my loser fantasy team will win a meaningless game against an awful opponent.
Happened.
I beat Aniero by 2%. It's great.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. I agree. And who wants to take this last one?
I'll do the last one. Alfic the Keeper. The key to everlasting youth lies within. Rum-berry cheesecake is the lock. You can decipher that however you wish.
Juxta, you had to have written that one.
Sure did.
Yeah, okay. Like, there's no way this was me or Nika.
He looked into the stars.
Oh, okay.
I mean, well, yeah.
He brought that out.
All right, and that is the your very first Eorzean horoscope, courtesy of Limit Break Radio. Definitely some bad horoscopes this week. It's gonna be a rough week for
You're gonna lose some family members.
Again, apparently.
Unless you're with Ralgar the Destroyer, then you're gonna have a great time destroying all those sandcastles.
That's true. He had a real go on, but we've got some foot fetishes being revealed. We've got BDSM parties happening in people's free companies, and a cute
that's
elephant.
a bad thing?
Well, I don't know. You always bash on ERP. I would assume so.
Well, yeah, but this isn't ERP. This is something good.
You don't think that they're ERPing while the BDSM is going on? Come on, get real.
How would you do BDSM without ERP? Wait.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway, and unfortunately for a bunch of cute elves and girls, they're about to get butchered and be warned. So it's gonna be a rough week in Eorzea, but you know what? We're gonna get there. So, with that, we have about 30 minutes left in the show today. We have got to get to some emails because we have not gotten to emails in nigh a month, and we have 56 pages of them. Like, we have to get through a couple today. So we're gonna check in with the FFFL, and then we are gonna head into some emails. So, without further ado, let's see what's going on in the FFFL. Alrighty, guys. Good afternoon, FFFL fans. Week 11 turned out to be an exciting race to the finish as we had some of our most shocking results of the entire season. First, though, the meaningless. The Balam T-Rexars pulled off a last-second win against the Red Wings. Review of the security footage shows that at halftime, the players got bored and left, allowing actual T-Rexars to storm the field and play the second half. They go to 6-5, while the Red Wings fall to 0-11.
Damn.
That is so depressing that you almost lost to the fucking Red Wings.
I was losing until the last day. I don't even know how I came back. I was, at the beginning, I was down 80%.
Yes,
I think Saren might have had something to do with that.
Dude, it was almost embarrassing. The Melocene Marauders pulled out the victory in a must-win week, taking down El Negro Grande to try and stay in the playoff hunt. They also moved to 6-5, while El Negro Grande falls to 4-7. In a result that surprised no one, the Chicobos thrashed Beambo USA, running their record to 10-1 as Beambo remains winless at 0-11. In our upset shocker of the week, the Juggernaut has been felled. That's right, Titan's Banana Hammock marched into the Chaos Shrine and defeated the Super Senpai Megaforce by a narrow margin. The win locks up their playoff spot and eliminates the Melocene Marauders from contention. They go to 8-3, while the Super Senpai Megaforce falls to 10-1. And in our closest...
That is...
I know,
that is amazing.
It is outstanding. Papa Woody and his team.
A good PR team this week.
The only two teams in the league, I believe... No, one of three teams in the league to have not changed their roster this season.
What do you got any comments on that, Papa? I've heard that there was some allegations being thrown around regarding your win.
Last night there was some allegations.
We had a really active battle going on.
I was hurt by those allegations, and I am very upset by everything that was said. I'm just hurt, and I don't know what else to say, but I'm just hurt.
You know what helps feeling hurt? Winning.
A win.
And going to the postseason. That's what helps feeling hurt.
You know, I did put out there that I'm going to post a poll on what I'm going to wear if I win the title.
Okay.
And you bribed for your votes.
I did, And
Everybody does.
I'm putting up the Twitter poll right now, and it's either I will wear an adult diaper or a banana hammock.
Oh God!
Oh my God! It has to be the banana hammock. That's
Please let him lose.
So
Please eliminate him from the postseason.
I'm not sure what Twitch's policies are with this, however.
It's okay. They can ban me. I don't give a shit. But
Yeah, you're gonna do that on your stream, not ours.
Right.
Okay.
We'll restream that.
Can you wear this during Extra Life and stream it?
Why do you want that?
24 hours? I don't know. I just think it'd be hilarious.
I'm gonna be out of stuff.
I've worn banana hammocks before, so it wouldn't affect me too much.
Oh, really?
All right.
Wow.
On that horrifying note,
yes, okay.
let's move into our closest match of the season. The Verminion Lords pulled out the tight win against the Edelweiss Avengers. While the scoreboard read a 50-50 split, astute observers will notice that 111 votes were cast, and the blue check mark resides with the Verminion Lords, who win by a score of 56-55. They go to 5-6 as the Avengers fall to 6-5. And that brings us to our final week of competition before the postseason. The Eastern Division is already decided. They will be sending the Chicobos and Titans Banana Hammock. However, the Western Division is not quite locked up. The Super Senpai Megaforce will go for sure, but the second place is up for grabs. If the Edelweiss Avengers were to lose and the Verminion Lords win, they will sit tied at 6-6. The tiebreaker would be their head-to-head record, but they've each won one game against the other. So if this happens, there will be a one-day vote for a tiebreaker to determine who goes to the postseason. Now on to our matchups for the week. The Edelweiss Avengers start us off as they travel to the Wolves' Den to take on the Melusine Marauders. After being eliminated from contention, they'll shift into the role of spoiler. The Balam T-Rexars continue finishing the season with worthless games as they finish up on the road in the Midgar slums against El Negro Grande. Fresh off their huge win, Titans Banana Hammock will travel to the Gold Saucer for a match with the Verminion Lords. With a playoff spot already sealed, the Banana Hammocks are now in a spoiler role as they prepare for the postseason. Competing in the Toilet Bowl this season, the Red Wings will travel to Quarry Mill for the match no one wanted to see. That's right, the 0-11 Red Wings will meet 0-11 Bimbo USA to determine just who is the worst team in the league.
That'll be a good one.
And on the other end of the spectrum, the 10-1 Chicobos will hit the road, traveling down to the Chaos Shrine for their match with the 10-1 Super Senpai Megaforce. The winner takes home the best record in the league and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Our final waiver wire will be Eero.
Wait.
Whoa.
Nika. Wait, hold on. Nika, do you have any comments about your upcoming match with the Senpai Force?
That he and I are going into this very respectful of each other, and we are not going to be pulling for votes. We want the best team to win. So please check out Limit Break Radio blog and look at the characters and actually vote for the team you think is the best. Thank you.
And I love that it came to this because this was not set up. This was just how the scheduler on Yahoo made it. So that was sweet. All right. We've had some criticism of the league in the past few weeks. The waiver wire has been kind of lackluster. And the waiver wire board, in their wisdom, has blessed us with a strong waiver wire this week. So, for the final waiver wire, you can pick Iroha, Valanerol, Arciela,
Who the
Lilith
fuck is Valanerol?
He's my berry!
It's all of Nika's bays.
But I can't choose him because he's not a Chicobo.
You can also pick Juxtaposition, Calolandis, Nika Kyanian, Eskalia Ryumasa, Papa Woody, and Skuro, I guess.
Can we force our waiver wire onto someone?
Can you make someone draft someone? No.
Aw.
Our final waiver wire order will be Gordor, Surin, Kalo, Eskalia, Papa Woody, Mad Hatter, Aniero, Nika, Malkithera, and Juxtaposition. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure you head over to limitbreakradio.com this Tuesday night and check us out on twitter.com/limitbreakradio to cast your votes in the FFFL. It's kind of weird when I have to outro myself.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I never thought I'd say this, but I miss Aniero.
Come on.
All right. We should dive into some emails, I think, because we have not gotten to do emails in so long. And no, answering some questions in the chat, no, Kuki is not available because she is already on a team, as is Aniero. So neither of them were available on the waiver wire.
Yeah, Melusine Marauders have Kuki.
Yep.
And the Verminion Lords have Aniero.
That's correct. So let's hop into some emails. Who wants to read the first one?
I think you should take the first one,
All right.
Eskalia.
Hey, LBR. You guys sure did a good networking job at FanFest 2016. No matter where I went, there was always someone mentioning LBR or any of your members. This applies especially to Eskalia, which was often described as the world's nicest person. Oh, thank you. I must admit that I had way too much fun seeing people cringe when I told them that this pink-haired person is Limit Break Radio. I think many people at FanFest realized that their hatred of LBR is unjustified. Sadly, Square Enix proved once more that they suck at organizing events, but Yoshi P, Soken, Koji, and the FF14 community more than compensated for it. The FanFest passed by so fast that we weren't able to meet with everyone we wanted to. We wish we could have managed to go to the LBR after/in-between party, but at least we did find a store that sold vodka at $10 per liter to fulfill our metric system thirst. And that's from Raggins from Order of the Blue Garter. Thank you, Raggins.
Their metric system thirst because they're Canadian, right?
Yeah, I managed to run into him at last FanFest, but not this one.
I think I interviewed him. Yeah, I ran into him. He was a good, nice guy.
Yeah, we found him at the Blue Cock Cafe, and we hung out for a little bit. It was a good time.
Nice. Juxta, you're being requested to read this next one.
Yep, I shall read this next email. It's kind of long from, let's see, Regnus Beov of Adamantoise. All right. Dear LBR, if it's all right, can Juxta or Kahlo read this over the air? Yes, I can. I'll try to keep the email brief, but there is so much I would love to share with the crew. First thing, I want to say that FanFest was absolutely incredible. My wife, Hannah, and I flew in to Vegas from Boise, Idaho. From the moment we touched down, we knew that FanFest was something we would never forget. We have never been to Vegas before, and we could already tell that it was going to be a blast. After when we went through registration, we ran into some familiar faces. I could not believe how approachable my favorite Final Fantasy streamers were after taking some pictures with Mr. Happy and Sly from the Dream Network. What happened next started our adventure into something bigger and better than our expectations. 3 very nice gentlemen waved us down, and after seeing our FanFest badges, and told us there would be a party later that evening. They pointed to the host of the party and asked if I heard of LBR. LBR, of all people that I ran to FanFest, was running... sorry.
You were doing
LBR,
so good.
I know, I was. It's because I had to scroll. That threw me off. LBR, of all the people that I ran to at FanFest, running into you was very important to me. I was going through a very rough part in my life, and I was in a very dark place. My family and friends were very concerned for my health, and I felt like I had hit rock bottom. One night, at a job I hated, I typed into a podcast search engine FF14. Limit Break Radio was at the very top of the list. I started listening to the show during the #GetGood episode when the host discussed Coil story mode. Shortly after that, things started getting better for me. I met my wife in the game, got accepted at a university, and moved closer to my family.
Wow, talk about turning it around.
Yeah, seriously.
Holy cow.
That's basically everything in life, isn't it?
I need to subscribe to this guy's newsletter.
You need to subscribe to LBR, you mean?
I've listened to every episode since #GetGood, and I plan on listening to every episode you produce. LBR was there for me when I needed it, and I want you to know that I'll always be here for you too. When I told Juxta my story about how the host had gotten to me through such a hard time, he teared up. That's very true. Meeting with you all meant so much to Hannah and I. Limit Break Radio is more than a podcast. It's more than a Twitch stream. It's a feeling that everyone experiences differently. I know I'm not the only person you have touched, but thank you so much for all that you continue to do for the community. Your loyal friend and fan, Regnus Beov of Adamantoise.
Jeez, I'm going to cry.
Aw, that was nice.
I know. What a great email.
That was so nice. Thank you so much, Regnus. That's like, wow.
Yeah, I know. It's like what I said when I met you. Literally the highest compliment is saying that you were in a dark place and we helped you out of it. So thank you so much for that.
Exactly. There's nothing that you can tell, and like not just us, any entertainer. There's nothing greater that you can hear. than that.
Seriously.
Oh, Juxta, how about you read this next one too? It's real short.
Oh, come on.
I think you got this one.
Fuck you. No, I'm actually tearing up thinking about that. So it's like hard.
I can
for me
do
to talk.
I'll do the next two.
I got this.
You got it? Okay.
This is from Elisa Reyes Iraq from Hyperion. Guys, it was a pleasure finally meeting you at FanFest this year.
Oh God.
Always wanted to chat with you all, and thank you for your kindness and awesome work. Elisa Reyes Iraq Hyperion. God, that was really hard.
You read the long one fine and then just choked up on the short
I know.
one.
I'm like crying, man. Like that. There's feels in that email.
I know. Okay.
Okay.
You can take this one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the next one. Hello, Limit Breakers. My character name is Sasha Fierce, World Sargatanis. So my FC mates noticed that the Derplander, the main character in every CG opener, is now a monk in the 4.0 trailer, and that he always picks a class that his party doesn't have. He was an archer, a warrior, a dragoon, and now a monk. Going with this trend, which do you think he will pick next? How will it explore the rest of Eorzea, or rather the rest of the world? How do you think it will affect the future storyline? Thank you for your time and stay fierce. I'm trying to think of wasn't there a bard in his party though? Wasn't there a Mikote bard? Or an archer, I mean, and he's from the 1.0, right? Like his party had a Mikote bard, I thought.
They did.
Or a Mikote archer.
And I mean,
if
he
you
was
watch, go ahead.
No, go on. Thank.
If you watch that the Answers trailer where Louis Swat helps us out and all that other shit, there is a Mikote fighting next to the warrior.
Yeah, I thought they had, and I don't remember him being an archer either.
And
I don't. Think
Oh
so.
no, yeah, okay. In the 1.0, not the trailer, but the actual
Like,
cutscene, he has the bow and arrow, and he's fighting alongside Marauder and an Rogadan Marauder, a Elizan Gladiator, and a Taru Conjurer.
Lalafell.
Yeah, Lalafell Conjurer, and they're fighting that Marlborough. That's the archer.
Oh, and he was an archer back then? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
But at the same time, in the last couple trailers, he's been kind of solo in it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
if
that's true. But what
they'll stick to that.
other things were in his party? What they had a black mage, right, or thaumaturge?
Yep.
They had everything.
And
They had
they didn't
white
have
mage.
red mage. Calling it the next expansion after this will focus on astrologian and red mage.
Oh my god, that sounds like the worst expansion ever.
Oh, actually, I feel like it's due time that he was a warrior, but the entire of like 2.0 didn't focus on warriors. Like Dragoon was a main hitter in Heaven's Word, and we know Monk is going to be main hitter in Stormblood. So I feel like he should be a paladin in the next one.
No. See, this is how it's going to be. All of them are all physical DPS. Goes archer, warrior, dragoon, and
warrior
monk.
is not a physical DPS.
Well, a physical attacker. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
And we don't really need another tank, so it's going to be ninja for the next one.
If we go to Doma or something, I could totally see that.
The crater of Doma, exactly. We're going to go there and check out the nuclear holocausted people that are in the crater.
And we can rebuild Doma. Make Doma great again.
I could see it being Summoner if we do like almost a theme of like the primals rising up against Garlemald.
Oh.
Maybe we complete that what the Garleans feared all along.
Yeah, the Garleans' goal was to capture the primals or just make sure that they didn't, or harness their powers, but make sure they weren't reigning free.
Right, they recognized the primals as being the only thing that could stand up against them, or so they thought.
So we need Summoner, because Yoshi has already kind of soft slipped that we will be going to Garlemald in the next expansion. So
Sounds
not
like
Stormblood,
Ninja to
but the one
me.
after that.
Sounds like
So
Ninja.
it could be Summoner. I could see that actually.
How? Okay, but here's the problem. How are you going to animate a stupid book-wielding nerd? Come on.
Yeah, it's not as epic as that Tekken Street Fighter trailer we got this time
Exactly.
around.
Yeah, here's the problem.
It's going to be physicals.
Here's the problem. If they do Summoner, they'll have to animate a sweet summon, like him actually summoning something cool to fight for him, and then everyone's be like, "When do I get that?"
You don't.
You don't. Only the Derplander.
Yeah, you're never gonna get that. All right. This next one's from Mitch Strife of Exodus. I'm sure that you are inundated with emails after FanFest and the release of the new 4.0 trailer. So I will understand if you don't get to my email during this week's show. Well, we got up to the week after. Close enough. That being said, I wanted to share a little theory that I have about the new jobs that will be coming with the new expansion and get your thoughts on this theory. I think that there may be a possibility that red mage and blue mages end up being subclasses for monk. Here's why.
Oh my god.
First of all, Square Enix has been known to take core Final Fantasy bits and turn them on their head from time to time. Some of those things are well received, and some of them are very much not well received. Taking two traditionally sword-wielding classes and making them hand-to-hand melee classes would be very much outside the norm, which I think is exactly what Yoshi P is looking to do with Stormblood. Another bit came from the trailer when, at the end, the two very noticeably had a red and blue aura about them when they decided that shit was getting serious. There is also a part of the trailer that went largely unnoticed. If you look at the Warrior of Light's outfit, there is a coral print on it. Which I think is very Blue Mage / Beastmaster, since Blue Mages are known for using enemy skills. On top of all that are the Scarlet Witch shirt that Yoshi P was wearing in the Rising event with the Dev Room. What comes next, red or blue? I could end up being entirely wrong. We'll find out in the Japan Fan Fest, I guess, but there were just too many different pieces that fell in line with this theory to ignore them. Side note, nobody has mentioned how awesome it is with the release of patch 3.4 that we can directly report RMT activity, and the noticeable lack of recent tell spams has been wonderful. Anyway, love you guys. Love the show. Keep up the awesome work. Shout out to the Exodus server and my FC Northern Sky, the best bunch of chuckle fucks you could ever hope to derp a dungeon with. Mitch Strife of the Exodus server. I'm going to say don't count on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Yoshi has already come out and said that subsystem they do not want to
Right,
do.
they didn't like the subclass thing.
No.
Now, I mean, maybe
And
that's
we've
just a
also
huge
said
red
they
herring.
They don't like classes and jobs in general, and they're just. I mean, that's why the most 3 recent jobs were just jobs.
Yeah. I don't. Unless it's a huge red herring, and the system rework is meant to completely dive into the class system, which I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
That said,
Blue Mage I can see.
Red Mage and Blue Mage being the two jobs, on the other hand, I could see as a theory. Sure, I just don't like.
You missaid samurai.
Well,
did I?
That at Japan.
Did I miss say samurai?
You did.
Interesting.
You said something that sounded like blue something. No.
Red Mage and Blue Mage, and then probably Dancer for the tank. That sounds about right.
Yeah, that seems like it could be.
The old man, sir.
Oh God. Yeah. All right. Nika, you want to do this next one?
Sure. This one is from Carl. That's all it says, Carl.
Thank
Hey,
you, Carl.
LBR crew. I wanted
Hi,
to let you
Carl.
know that I thought your interview with Susan Calloway was fantastic. I liked your questions and I liked her answers, but more importantly, I liked how you introduced Susan. When you introduced her for the interview, your compliments and descriptions were about her vocal performances or work. You did not once make any comment about how beautiful she is. Not saying she isn't, by the way. Too many news, and I use the word loosely, news outlets, when conducting interviews with women always mention how beautiful the woman is. But unless it's a beauty pageant, I don't care about what she looks like. I want to know her stance or opinions on the discussion topic. And it really pisses me off how a woman's beauty seems to be the only thing people care about. So I applaud you for not mentioning her appearance, especially since the podcast wouldn't show her anyway. From Carl.
Well, that's a compliment for Aniero.
But I'll take it anyway.
Yeah, we'll take
You're
it anyway.
welcome. Thank you. Oh, no, I get it. Dibs. Dibs.
Absolutely. And I mean, when you talk to Susan Calloway, and we want to thank her again for giving us so much of her time and for being so kind to us over the past few weeks, and really since the first time we had her on the show.
And even now, like every time we post something or tag her, she likes in comments like, "Oh my gosh, is this real life?"
Yeah, we're besties now, basically. That's where it's at. But no, we want to thank her so much for her time and for giving us such a nice interview with such good answers, and no pun intended. And yeah, you're absolutely correct, though. I mean, while Susan is, of course, beautiful, she's a singer, and we're on an audio-only program, and that doesn't really lend itself to it. It's much better to focus on her vocal performances, which, I mean, obviously the night before, she had just given a beautiful one, so that's what we wanted to talk about.
I'm curious now, like, I know that he mentioned that, like, in general, when people interview women, they say that, but I'm curious about the other podcasts that interviewed her, how they introduced her now.
Yeah, I wonder. Imagine if Susan started watching LBR.
Now I want to know.
I think Susan does occasionally listen to LBR, but, you know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Susan.
She hashtagged us best peeps ever on Instagram.
I mean, she did say that we're the best show. Like, that's a quote. So
it's like she doesn't even know us.
I think she said best show. Next
I
to
have
LBR.
heard her on a few other podcasts, and they never mentioned her beauty either.
Well, that's why I was wondering,
But-
did they mention her beauty or not? I don't know.
No, they did not.
Well,
Okay.
that's good.
Yep.
But we did it first. So fuck other
Yeah.
podcasts.
Take that.
Dick nuts. All right, next email is from Aniero Darkwin of Sergeant Anus. Hello, LBR crew. After watching the keynote, I am convinced the 2 new jobs will be Red Mage and Samurai. I mean, if they're only introducing 2 jobs, like the silhouette suggests, then these 2 make the most sense. Red Mage.
Wait, hang on. Wait, no, wait. I have. Is that the real reason people keep saying only 2 jobs because there's only 2 silhouettes? Like it was a male and a female. There's only 2 genders.
No.
It's not 2
Whoa! Oh my God, Nika! I am not gonna touch that. That direct all.
Okay,
your hate
2
mail
genders
to
in the
Nika.
game. 2
No,
genders in the game. There's a male gender and a female gender. You cannot make any other genders in the game.
Hashtag 73 genders, Nika.
Nika.
Okay?
Nika.
Just saying.
Jesus.
Because
Nika.
I have heard so many people say only 2 jobs, and is that really where they're getting their basis from?
Nika, you can't make any other sex in the game. You can make plenty of genders.
Okay, if you want to get technical.
Go back to Balmung.
I have a character
All
on
right,
Belmont.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Your alt is on
stay
Balmung?
there. No, it's a decent evidence, but no, I think most people are latching on to that interview Yoshi said when he said that 3 jobs was a big undertaking.
Yeah, when he expressed regret about that. Although, now that he has actual funding again, maybe he won't mind having a 3rd job. Now he can actually hire someone to do it.
I feel like if you don't add a tank, a healer, and a DPS, it's going to unbalance the duty finder.
No, it's fine as long as the DPS is the one you skip.
Can we finish the
true.
email?
Okay, yeah, go.
Thank you. He's so mean to Neo Darkwind. Anyway, Red Mage is going to be the melee version of Summoner / Conjurer. You will have to equip either DPS skills or healer skills, maybe in the middle of the fight. With the new changes to skills that they announced, this would not be outside the realm of possibilities. This would also mean there would be a tank spot open, and sorry to say this, Nika, but that means Samurai will be the tank.
Wait, why sorry to
And
Nika?
Nika's
I
not going
love
to be mad
tank.
about that.
Dude, if
She'll be
Samurai is a
thrilled.
DPS or a tank, I won't mind because that means I can stay the tank in my party and still play Samurai. That is the ideal situation, actually.
But what if it's a DPS?
Then we'll have to find some new tanks because I'm pretty sure our other tank is changing to Red Mage.
The only thing that has me doubting these predictions is what Japanese fan festival is next, and Yoshi P teased Red Mage with his shirt for the next announcement. If they were to announce Samurai, it would be Japan and not Europe. Crazy fan wishing and maybe the sound of reasoning. You guys can decide. Anyway, hope you guys had fun in Vegas. We sure did. Neo Darkwind of Sergeant Anus.
Okay, Dre Poetic in the chat just brought up a good point. We're probably not getting a new race like we did last time. So instead of having to add all new animations and new things for Aura, how they had to do that, maybe they could focus that into a 3rd job.
Not getting our
That
Vieira
makes me
still.
sad. I want to have another job or another race. That's part of the fun.
But do you think, looking at, we're going to Alamigo and there's Golem World influence and all that. Do you really think there is another? I can't see there being another race.
What would be there?
Who cares? Fucking rabbit women. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the Vieira have just been hiding out there.
Sure, why not?
Why not? Sure, okay.
They're hiding in the shroud. Because that's what rabbits do. They hide in trees.
No Vieira until we go to Dalmasca. Okay.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think you're pretty much spot on with Red Mage and probably Samurai. I'm gonna call it now: Red Mage, Healer, Samurai, Tank. Just from the armor classes alone.
I mean, I really do feel like that the boss they showed had a sword that didn't quite look like a Dark Knight sword and was definitely bigger than a Paladin sword.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, let's take one more, and then I think we're gonna wrap it up for the day. Hey guys, hope you had a blast at FanFest this year. I just wanted to say a few thoughts on the trailer. There's a ton of debate as to who this mysterious woman in red is and what job she is portraying. I'm about 99% sure the woman in red is a dancer fighting the Warrior of Light, who is a monk/pugilist in this short trailer version. Ribbon-like material comes out of the arm guards with a steel tassel at the end. She tries to attack the Warrior of Light with these before having the ribbons once again retract back into her arm guards. Now, hear me out on this as just speculation, so put on your tinfoil hats because here it comes. Number 1. During the Q&A panel at the Please Look Forward to It live stream, someone asked about the ribbons in the trailer before being abruptly cut off and skipped to another question as if to avoid spoilers, as if ribbon was one of the safe words to skip or avoid. This could go for any questions asked regarding 4.0 at all. Number 2, in Final Fantasy Airborne Brigade, the Dancer is a job available after obtaining a level 5 Thief and a level 10 Red Mage. The preferred weapons for the jobs are daggers and fists. The job specializes in both agility and intelligence abilities. This job is involved in the requirements to unlock the Black Belt and Ninja jobs. The image of the Dancer is shown with the ribbon. Number 3, in the trailer, the intro to their appearance of the Warrior of Light is... Jeez, this is not written well. In the trailer, the intro to their appearances is the Warrior of Light meditating while the Lady in Red is dancing. There are several speculations that can go into this, such as Pugilist acquiring a Dancer Stone. Yes, Yoshi P did say that the expansion will revolve around the blank class, putting his fists up, referring to Monk. I don't remember him saying Monk, though. They're shown in 2 silhouettes in the new job slide, which viewed in such a way I can see the woman's silhouettes in a red mage garb with high boots and a skirt. If the male silhouette is a samurai, it was hard to see any indications of any sam weapon. Does anyone else think that they were just...
I thought they were just generic
generic.
silhouettes of a female and a male.
That's what I thought, too.
Like, I don't see what people are reading so far into that.
There are several options here, obviously, and hinted at in the past. Red Mage, Dancer, Samurai, and Rune Knight. This may be too much to implement in an expansion. I remember when Ninja was released before Heaven's Ward. They are also taking a bit longer to develop this bigger expansion, as it was said as being at least as big as Heaven's Ward. I can't wait for this expansion, as more will be revealed from here on in, starting from patch 4.5. Let me know your thoughts, Zemless Prower. P.S. Callow. Too bad I wasn't at FanFest this year. Maybe next year you can punch me in the face if you can find me, because I so called that nutkin. Heart.
Heart? That's a
face.
That is
Smiley
definitely
face.
a smiley
That's
face.
Smiley face.
It's a happy face, buddy.
Listen, I know Zemless. He meant heart.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I want to point out, as somebody who plays Monk, that is already very dancey and flowy and flippy, and like even just put on Fists of Wind and watch your arms dance. Like it is. I mean, that's what Chinese kung fu is all about: is the flow and the grace and the dancing. And the Warrior of Light was also using some pretty flowy moves. She just happened to have ribbons on her arms, so they looked to be a lot more dancey. But if he had ribbons on his arms, it would look like he was dancing too. So
okay,
I can't see that being dance or confirm.
Except in the trailer, I mean, believe me, I slowed this down for research purposes. But
Gross.
The ribbons are actually being used as weapons. Like it is like has those like little graphical swipe effects, like in Smash Brothers when you're like swiping with Sheik's whip or whatever. It's got the swipe animation, so she's definitely attacking with those ribbons.
I mean, it would be a cool addition somehow to Monk. I just can't see it being a whole new class. I don't know, because we know the lore of Monk. Like there was different factions, ones that supported the Tyrant King, ones that didn't. They were obliterated, and because of the shift of power and the weakness, the Garleans took over and now take control of Alamigo. I can easily see that there are some kind of, underground rebellious force that has been secretly training in the ways of the Monk. And over time, I know it's only been 20 years, but I can still see that over time that the style would change a little bit. Like they would use different weapons, or they would use a little bit different style. But I still would think with the history of Alamigo that it would be a Monk. Now, whether or not we will acquire said stance of this Monk is another story, because if this is unique to like, a group of 50 people who are an underground rebellion, why would we really learn it? I don't know. I mean, we can only wait and see, but I can't see this being a whole new class confirmation.
I mean, this is just a trailer. Remember what happened with 3.0 trailer, guys? Come on.
And, yeah, I mean, and the fact is, people were saying that you're right. The Heaven's Ward trailer, we show him as a dragoon, and he's fighting with a bunch of all the other lancers and dragoons, but that really didn't pertain to the story at all. We know that the Ralger's Reach or wherever they're fighting is actually a place we'll get to go. They did tell us that, but whether or not that these characters fighting even means anything is another story as well. Especially because look at the way we saw them fighting. Like they literally looked like we were playing Street Fighter or Tekken, and we know that that is not how we're going to be playing this game. So they are obviously over graphically. Like, you think we're going to be pushing A to punch, or like square to punch, triangle to kick, whatever? No, that's not.
I don't know. They said that they were going to rehaul the combat system. So I mean, maybe we're going to be playing Tekken.
We're going to start getting an action like Kingdom Hearts fight. I don't know. We're not going to get an action button masher in this. This is not what this is going to be.
Maybe
it's not
maybe
1.0.
maybe it's going to be a fighting game in 4.0, and Monk and Dancer are the two classes that you're going to be able to pick from it.
It's definitely just beautiful prettiness for the trailer, and maybe to hint at a new character that's going to be introduced. But I just can't see this. I don't know. I think that people are reaching when they say that it's a whole new class and that this is whatever.
I agree. I just think, like, anytime you get one of these first teaser trailers, they don't put anything too exciting in it. You got to take it all with a grain of salt. So we'll find out, I guess, as we move closer to JP Fan Fest in December, over Christmas, no less. Thanks for that, by the way. That's going to be lovely. So
yeah, that is really strange because there are plenty of people that celebrate Christmas.
I know. It's weird.
I don't understand why they would put it on Christmas Day, but okay.
All right, that's going to do it.
Perfect time for it.
That's going to do it for today's episode. I want to give a huge, huge thank you to my co-hosts today, Juxtaposition and Nika Kayanian, for helping me get through this absolute cluster bleep of a show. I don't know why I bleeped that. Yeah,
cluster bleep, I like it.
Absolute clusterfuck of a show. But it was a fun time. It was a good time. Thank you all to everyone who tuned in. We had some 170 people, I think, at our max today watching, for putting up with me as I try to shuffle my way through this mess. I promise you, Aniero will be back next week, and you will not have to deal with me doing this again. Nevertheless, I hope the show was enjoyable for you guys. I hope you all had a great time. And we're going to start getting ourselves ready for Final Encountercast, which will go live over at our sister channel, twitch.tv/Final Encountercast at 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Go ahead and tweet about how much you liked us better than when Aniero and Kello are here.
Yeah, let's start the Eskalia position movement here on the show.
Yes.
That'll be great. I'm sure everyone will be tuned in on that. So the FEC is going to work a little bit differently than it normally does because we don't have some of the production sounds that we normally would have. We're going to actually be doing a recording, whereas normally we just, we broadcast it live and that's what the show is. This is actually going to be just us getting the recordings for us to later compile into an episode. But we're still going to do that live free so you guys can get the episode. It's just going to sound a little different than it normally does. So I hope you'll all tune in for that over at twitch.tv/Final Encountercast at 5 o'clock. Thank you so much again. I want to thank everyone who's been hanging out in the audience. I want to thank our intern, Papa Woody, for hanging out with us throughout the call today. Thank you so much. Giggling in the background. I want to thank Kooky Persona. And we have birth of a new pairing. Great. I want to thank Kooky Persona for womaning the phone lines as always and keeping us on track. Big shout out again goes out to Nika Kayanian and Juxtaposition. I'm Eskalia. Keep listening.
Penis.
Limit Break Radio is a production of LimitBreakRadio.com and Bender Media Productions. This episode was produced by Juxtaposition and Eskalia Ryumasa. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. Funding for Limit Break Radio is provided by Miri Kennett, Captain Failboat, Zurian Urexin, Azura Ghiaccio, Bianca Forwin, Kalina Ashsaber, Thor Carson, My Waifu, Satori Komeji, Darbykins, Sakura-chan, Dark Flux, Null Packet, and fellow Limit Break Radio listeners. To support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. Opening music in this episode from Daniel Lambie. Listen to Man with the Machine Gun and other great tracks at facebook.com/Daniel Lambie Metal Gamer. Closing music in this episode provided by Husky by the Geek. Listen to this and great Final Fantasy XIV and video game rock covers and original music at facebook.com/Husky by the Geek. In-game graphics for Limit Break Radio's Twitch stream are provided by Diamond Multimedia. Check out their line of AMD graphics cards and other hardware at diamondmm.com. limitbreakfm.com. Limit Break Radio and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.